It's Rattlers Saturday night here on AZTV, presented by Zengo. Hi everyone, Tom Lander, joined by Dan Minucci. Last week, the Rattlers scored 83 points on the road. They actually put together consecutive road wins, but we're not going to start talking about the Rattlers offense. In a rarity, we're going to start with their defense, Noosh. They've been spectacular the last couple of weeks.
And their reason why is this Rattler team has had 0 sacks in the first 5 games. The last 2 games, Daryl Shropshire moved the middle linebacker, has created the push. The big fella at 6'2", 300 pounds has allowed Alex Guerrero and Ron Jones, the defensive ends, to put pressure on the quarterbacks, thus getting the pressure on the quarterback, thus getting those key stops that they've had against Iowa and last week against Utah.
Well, definitely that Rattler defense will be tested. The Milwaukee Iron bring quarterback Chris Bryson to town. Might be a familiar name. He spent a few years with the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, he's a surgeon in the Arena Football League, carving up the defenses.
Well, one of the key things is here you got 5 leagues, 10 teams later. Those are the Georgia Force in 2000, 2008. He throws for 204 touchdown passes. This year, 55 touchdown passes and only one, Tom Leander, only one interception in 308 attempts. Chris Bryson definitely found his niche in the Arena Football League with the #1 offensive league and with 3 great Hall of Fame wide receivers making it happen for the Milwaukee Iron.
Again, maybe the best quarterback in the Arena Football League. The Rattlers have one of the top receivers in Rod Windsor. For more on that, let's toss it over to Randy Gatewood, who knows a little something about catching footballs in the Arena Football League. Woody?
That's right, Tom. Rod the God having a tremendous year this year. 15 catches, 152 yards, 6 touchdowns last week. He's on pace to break Calvin Shakespeare's single-season record for yards this year. I expect a big game coming tonight. I spoke to him in practice this week. He's looking forward to it, ready to roll. Back to you, Tom.
All right, Randy, he's good, but I don't know if they're going to hang his jersey in the rafters like they did for Randy Gatewood. Randy Gatewood and Katie Hartley will be rolling the sidelines for us here tonight on AZTV. Rattlers Saturday night, Milwaukee Iron in town. It was a big offensive showing by Nick Godula and the Rattlers offense last week in Utah. We'll set the stage and have the opening kickoff from downtown Phoenix next.
The 2-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a fight. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zengo marketing team, or to learn about Zengo products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themagazineteam.com.
Arizona Rattlers right now second place in the West behind 6-2 Spokane. They have a bye this week. So the keys for tonight's game, Luke, what do you have?
Well, one of the things you're going to have to take a look at is that you've got to keep pace with this Milwaukee Iron team. Here's a team that is 65 points on average. You've got to definitely score every possession. On top of that, you got to get a couple of stops against this haunted offense of this Milwaukee Iron. On top of that, number 3, last but not least, you've got to be physical. The secondary's got to play physical to hammer this trio of the Milwaukee Iron receiving.
Up and away from downtown Phoenix to the side of the net. And that's a break for the Rattlers. So they will start at the 20-yard line to begin this game. Tremendous field position and a mistake, a costly one for Bob Forstrom, the kicker for the Milwaukee Iron.
Well, that's one of the things you do not want to give. And in a game like this, when you see this Milwaukee Iron team averaging 65 points per game, the Rattlers 64 points per game. Tom, this one could end up 68-65. The team with the last possession of this game is going to win. And this is what you want to see with the Rattlers. Great field position to open up the game.
For Nick Davila and the Rattlers offense, 9 touchdown passes last week in Utah. For Davila, he starts out at the 20-yard line. If you kick it to the side of the nets or over the nets, that means the other team will take over at the 20, near midfield. Quick hit over to Rod Windsor. Randy Gatewood talked about him. He is number 1 in the AFL right now in receptions. He now has 86 on the season. The rookie from western New Mexico. As we roll out the Rattlers offense, great protection over the last few weeks from Carvalho, Kyle Young, and Atlas Harry. And Johnny Curtin is the fullback behind Nick Davila.
And when you face a team that has 10 sacks, especially with Tyree Smith, the one man from Milwaukee, you want to get the football off quick. You want to give that protection to Davila to make sure he allows to get every throw on every possession.
Jumping off sides, Kareem Smith. That was something, Dan, the Rattlers were prepared for. This is one of the top sack men in the AFL, actually tied for number 1 with 5 sacks coming into this game. He likes to try to jump off early.
You go ahead, good, Tom.
Let's take a look at the Iron defense. There's Kareem Smith along with Fitch and Brian Robinson on the front. They have some talented players in the secondary, including Marcus Everett and Carlton Brown. We'll see him returning kicks. Virgil Gray is their leading tackler, but there is Kareem Smith, who just jumped off sides. On the move is Trandon Harvey. Davila, great protection again to his left. The pass is tipped but caught by J.J. McKelvey, who rolls to the 9-yard line.
Ball gets tipped that time, but a good job by McKelvey to stay with the football. And one of the things that this Rattlers offense wanted to do to keep Kareem Smith at bay was he watches the motion man. They go with the quick count, hard count. Now, great pass protection by this offensive line of the Rattlers. McKelvey does a good job of just staying with the football. Again, one of those keys, this Rattler offense has to score every possession in order to keep pace with this vaunted Milwaukee Iron offense.
That was John Booker on the left side, keeping Smith at bay. Davila breaks away from the pressure, but then goes down. But 2 flags drop, and we'll see what that's all about. Flags and the referee's hat. Well, what's next, Nooch? His jersey, his shirt for the referee?
Well, there's a lot going on down there right now, but Brian Robinson, good pass protection for about 2.5 seconds. But when you get into a situation where you've got to eventually get rid of the football, and that time Davila is looking down the field, looking left, your pass protection is eventually going to break down, especially with Robinson, Smith, and Banks. With these individuals coming at you, you've got to get rid of it eventually.
The Milwaukee defense allowing a little under 56 points per game.
There was no foul for intentional grounding as the quarterback was out of the box. However, holding on the offense, right tackle. 10 yards administered from the previous spot. First down.
And that's one of those situations where you have to get rid of it. Looking at the right side over here, number 75, getting held over there, Atlas Harry, and one of the captains just pretty much holds at Robinson as he's coming in from that right side. And that, as a quarterback, that's where you have to get rid of that football. You've got to feel that pressure and get rid of the ball. But again, unfortunately, with this team, with this defense of Milwaukee, they'll put the heat on you. Defensive backs will sit. That's why they've got as many turnovers as they had. They'll sit and allow that pass rush to help those turnovers.
A little more room to operate for the Rattlers offense. First and goal. Davila finds a wide open Windsor, and he skips to the 2-yard line. It'll be second and goal from the 2 for Arizona on their opening possession.
Danny White wants to establish a short passing game and then work the ball down the field. Rod Windsor, what a phenomenal season he's having. And folks, I got to tell you what, Randy Gatewood is one of those individuals. And Gate, I got to tell you, this young man already started off so far. You see 85, 1008. 21 touchdown passes, 85 receptions so far in the year.
He's on a record-setting pace. To give to Johnny Curtin, unable to make it into the end zone. They have picked up 1 yard, so it'll be 3rd down and goal. Decision time for offensive coordinator and team president Danny White, doing a terrific job with this offense. The Rattlers and Milwaukee both come in as the number 1 and 2 offenses in terms of total yards this season in the league.
Now, this is a no-brainer for Danny White. This is just good. This is 2-down territory. You just got to knock the door down because they know if these are precious possessions that you need to score on, especially on the opening drive.
They have Windsor in the backfield. He'll take the handoff from Davila, dives in, touchdown, Arizona. I believe, and there it is, officially Rod Windsor in the zone for the first score of the night.
And Danny White always does a good job each and every week of showing a new wrinkle with the offense. This one putting Rod Windsor in the backfield. You look at the size of this young man, an outstanding job of getting to the hole. Offensive line gives him just enough room to get up into the hole for the touchdown.
Rod Windsor tearing it up with the reception. This time takes it in on the ground, and now the new place kicker for the Arizona Rattlers, Fabricio Scaccia, but it's a fake. Rattlers going for 2. It was the pitch, I believe, at Harrion, and the massive players trying to pull his way into the end zone and doesn't make it in. They tried a 2-point attempt and made it in Iowa a couple weeks ago. This time unable to make it into the end zone, so the Rattlers will settle for a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter, courtesy of Rod Windsor taking it into the end zone.
Rod Windsor doing an outstanding job, making sure that happens. Rod Windsor going to the right side, nice little cutback. Good job by the offensive line, stretches it out right last second. There you go. The Rattlers on a failed 2-point conversion, 6-0 over Milwaukee. Rattlers first score.
Today, with the economy the way it is, if you get sick, the bills can make you even sicker. That's why you want to call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. They will tell you about their new health plans and help you choose the one that's right for you and your family. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona has introduced new and more affordable health insurance plans. So don't wait. Call your broker or call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona now to get the facts. To learn more, call your broker, call 866-691-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/TV.
I'm Pat McMahon, and I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience how many unique and inexpensive items I've come across at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart. You too can shop fantastic. Over 500,000 brand new items under one roof at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart, located at 27th Avenue in Camelback in Phoenix. You'll find everything you need and want at incredibly low prices. Open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. What's it called? The fantastic Indoor Swap Mart.
The 2-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their 3rd arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bite. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Rattlers on board first tonight in downtown Phoenix, leading Milwaukee 6-0. The scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arizona for Windsor, who took it into the end zone. 5 plays, 30 yards for the Rattlers. They'll last 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Now Milwaukee, their first chance with their hands on the ball. Fabricio Scaccia. It's a powerful leg between the uprights. And fielded by Carlton Brown. He is taken down at the 11-yard line. A flag drops at the 6. Tackle made by George Kelly.
Well, let me tell you something. That drive was a crucial drive. Even though they did not get the 2-point conversion, this Arizona Rattlers offense did a good job of giving Davila the pass protection he needed. And then Rod Windsor on the touchdown, the former quarterback at Western New Mexico Highland, did an outstanding job of reading the hole and getting up in there for the touchdown.
I imagine he was an option quarterback there as we take a look at the quarterback for the Milwaukee Iron, Chris Bryson, a backup to Jake Plummer with the Arizona Cardinals for a few seasons. The #1 rated quarterback in the AFL. Dan talked about it, 55 touchdown passes and just 1 interception. He has an exceptionally quick release and makes smart decisions on the field. A coach's dream. First pass is complete to Nate Force, a pickup of about 9 yards for Nate Force and the Milwaukee offense. You see Tiger Jones, Force, and Damian Harrell, who has set all sorts of AFL all-time records. We'll talk more about Harrell. Those are the receivers for Grayson. And only 1 sack allowed by the offensive line this season of Milwaukee. Davis, McNeil, Ranglin, and Tyree Young up front to protect Grayson. 33-year-olds seem to be 34, going deep along the sideline. It's caught and taken into the end zone for a touchdown. Tiger Jones going the distance at a dance party in the Rattlers zone.
And that's one of the things that Kevin Guy was afraid of, this quick strike offense of the Milwaukee Iron. These 3 receivers you just talked about, they've got 50, count them, 50 touchdowns amongst each other so far in the year. And Jones is that home run hitter for this Milwaukee Iron. You talked about Damian Harrell. You talked about all that he's done. Talked about Nate Force. Here's a receiver that's had 100 yards receiving in the last 8 games. A very potent receiving corps, and Tyree Jones is the guy. On a missed extra point attempt. This was all tied up probably. There's been a rough start for Forsstrom. Well, that opening kickoff, it went left of the net, misses the PAT, so we are tied up at 6. Extremely accurate is Chris Grayson going deep and nailing Tiger Jones. We're knotted at 6.
Game Truck, the ultimate video game party brought right to your doorstep. All we need is a place to park, and you'll have a place to play. Now, you have a chance to win your very own Game Truck party. Watch Andy Griffith weekdays at 5:30 on AZTV. Write down the daily code word. Then go to aztv.com and enter to win the ultimate video game party from Game Truck.
For every soldier who pays the ultimate price, 10 more are disabled for life. To help, please contact the Disabled American Veterans.
Is there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or someone you love suffering from an addiction? Then it's time to do something about it. Calvary Center knows exactly what people need to get and stay in recovery.
It changed my life.
It's your choice if you want to live or you want to die.
Call Calvary Addiction Recovery Center at 866-76-SOBER or visit us online at calvarycenter.com.
Elevate your night, elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
Rattlers have been fantastic on the road so far this season, 3-1 away from U.S. Airways Center, but they have lost 2 of 3 here at home, and next Friday night, the Rattlers back home to host the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs right here at U.S. Airways Center. Good seats still available for just $10. Order your ticket at 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com. Tom Leander back with Dan Manucci, a 2-play, 46-yard drive for Milwaukee. Off the nets, Trandon Harvey upended at the 6-yard line. That's where Davila and the Rattlers offense will take over their second possession. First one resulting in the Windsor 1-yard touchdown plunge.
Nice to have Trandon Harvey back. He completes this trio with McKelvey and Trandon Harvey and throwing the football down the field. Davila, his numbers you see there, been very, very poised. 9 touchdown passes last week. The 2 interceptions he had were off of screen plays. Utah had a fine defensive end at 6'8", and just learning the finer nuances of throwing the football away as opposed to trying to force the football around. He's always learning those lessons, and he understands the offense He's not thinking, he's reacting as a quarterback now.
Danny White said both those passes were tipped. They went for interceptions that turned into touchdowns. Going long for Rod Windsor, overthrows him. He also had a fumble that resulted in 6. So actually the Arizona Rattlers offense gave up 21 points to the Utah Blaze, but both of these teams, Arizona and Milwaukee, coming off of big blowout wins. The Rattlers with the team record 83 points at Utah last weekend. The Iron, well, they drop-kicked the Dallas Vigilantes. Both of these teams, the Rattlers and the Iron, winning by 25 points.
And for Nick Davila, this is a huge litmus test for him. He's going to get pressure the entire night. That last throw, Brian Robinson let him know he's going to be back there all night as he hammers him after he throws the football.
McKelvey open over the middle. Davila finds him, and he dives ahead to the 22-yard line. Good for an Arizona Rattlers first down. 7:28 and counting here in the first quarter.
J.J. McKelvey, he's healthy now. You look at what he's done with Windsor and New York Trainer Harvey, 49 receptions, 14 touchdowns on the year. He's that guy that can break away, make that catch across the middle. Extremely tough going across the middle. And one of the things that Danny White really likes about this receiving corps is that they're on the same page with the quarterback, and the quarterback's on the same page with the receivers. That can make for a very dangerous combination.
McKelvey, one of the few veterans on this team, 6th year of the AFL. Davila is hit on his release. It falls harmlessly, incomplete.
Again, Brian Robinson coming from that left defensive end position. And it's going to be an extremely difficult night. You look at Tyree Smith, who's done an outstanding job with all that he's done. Again, you're going to see right from that right side, just coming in from your screen, right here at the very end, just getting a hand on him at the very end and throwing off the rhythm and allowing Nick Davila to step into the throw. Very fortunate that was not intercepted.
Yeah, Danny White was talking about the Rattlers offense, saying we're figuring ourselves out. Chemistry and leadership is starting to evolve, but his project right now is for Davila to limit those mistakes. Windsor to the 20-yard line will be about 2 yards shy of another Arizona first down.
Well, Danny White and this entire coaching staff for the Arizona Rattlers talk about Rod Windsor. They say, you should probably enjoy him while you see him here in Arizona. He's a young man that could be in the National Football League, if not after this year, within the next couple of years. As a former quarterback, he sees the field so well. He anticipates. He's got great vision. Before he catches the football, he understands and he sees with his peripheral vision where the defense is. You'll see him make moves prior to catching the football.
Both Windsor and Davila played in AF2 last season, back over the middle. That's been the sweet spot for the Rattlers, and it's a first down as it goes into the hands of J.J. McKelvey.
I will say this. We talked about Kareem Smith getting the jump early on in the game. The very first play of the game, the Arizona Rattlers draw him off sides. What he was doing in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he was watching the motion man and jumping the motion man. So the Rattlers adjusted this week. There's the big fella out of Oklahoma State. You see his size and speed. They've neutralized him from jumping off the football with the hard count and the long count.
I played with the Chiefs and the Vikings in the NFL. Davila flushed out of the pocket, back over the middle to McKelvey. They are chewing up the Milwaukee defense right in the middle, the interior of their defense.
Well, what a pass rush does for defensive backs and what the defensive backs of Milwaukee has done in these first 7 games of the year is they're sitting on the routes. Well, if you can't get that pass rush, they're going to throw underneath, and they're going to allow the receivers to find that open zone. Right here, McKelvey finds the open zone and just sits it down. So Danny White coming out with a great game plan early on to challenge these cornerbacks of Milwaukee.
McKelvey, one of the 4 newly named captains for the Arizona Rattlers, stepping up. Davila back in the end zone. A flag drops, and I believe that's going to be defensive pass interference. Brandon Harvey was locked up with Virgil Dre, number 3, and I believe that's who the penalty will go against.
Defensive backs of Milwaukee, they try to be very physical. Down here in the red zone, what they try to do is go to the combination man zone. Fire to the back. Holding. Defense number 11. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, Gray was back there along with Carlton Brown. They flag Brown, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Rattlers. They'll move the ball all the way up to the 1.5-yard line.
For those of you new to the Arena Football League game, that football hits the iron, it's a live ball. And J.J. McKelvey's got to be very aware that if that ball hits the iron or the net, if it comes off, it's still a live ball to catch.
On the reverse, the handoff to McKelvey. He is sliced down for a loss. He goes down at the 3. They had Curtin in the backfield, and then reversing back to take the handoff was J.J. McKelvey.
Now, Zarnell Finch does an excellent job of basically breaking this play up. As you come into motion, he comes back. Finch comes in, and just to your left side here comes Finch, number 97. Coming back to the other side is Robinson and Finch. Finch pretty much stuffs it, and here's Robinson coming from the backside to clean it up.
Robinson was an undrafted free agent with the Arizona Cardinals back in 2008, having a big impact in the first quarter. Pitch play, Rod Windsor. He scoots in for the touchdown. Beautifully executed sweep play by the Arizona Rattlers.
And just does a good block to the outside. Little pitch play that Danny's been running for many, many years. I remember when Hunky Cooper used to get this football. So look to your right side. You'll see a great block on the outside. Windsor gets it coming down inside from a good job is Trandon Harvey. Not only catches it, returns it, but what pro scouts like to see, he's also a very good blocker.
Fabricio Scaccia, who once kicked a 68-yard field goal in a semi-pro game in Florida, nails the point after. 2 rushing touchdowns for the Rattlers in the first quarter from that man, Rod Windsor.
Getting a great block from the outside from Trandon Harvey. The Rattlers strike again. Look to the outside. You gotta love it when a receiver helps out his other receiver as the Rattlers strike again and take the lead. 13-6. They're keeping pace.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Your attention, please. Goodbye Auto Auction is auctioning off high-quality used automobiles and trucks. Every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., Goodbye Auto Auction offers you an opportunity to bid on a huge inventory of well-conditioned automobiles. Bidding starts as low as $300. The gates open at 8. Auction starts at 9. Goodbye Auto Auction is located at 2956 West Osborne. For more information, call 602-523-3339. Remember, it's every Wednesday at Goodbye Auto Auction.
On the next George Lopez,
We're half brothers.
Lou Diamond Phillips guest stars
Do you know what this means?
That your father never learned how to use a condom.
as the sibling Benny kept secret.
Have you ever in your life told me one thing that was true? Are you my mother? Are you even a woman? Because there's been talking. I'm getting tired of defending you.
Time to catch up
Dad wasn't exactly a good guy. Compared to what? I was raised by Joan Crawford.
and count blessings.
Now I know why Dad named our dog Benny.
Next George Lopez.
Monday at 8 on AZTV7, Cable 13.
Rattlers up 13-6 here in the first quarter. The scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross.
You love to see your quarterback and receiver always talking. That's the maturity Nick Davila makes how much he's grown over these last 7 games.
High kick by Scaccia. It catches the Casino Arizona boards right over there in that section beyond the end zone, so they will mark it at the 5-yard line. A couple of rushing touchdowns for Rod Windsor. We were talking about him in the open with Randy Gatewood, and Randy, a strong start for the rookie, the 25-year-old Rod Windsor.
Strong start for you here tonight, Rod. Not particularly catching the ball, but you're helping out in other ways running the ball tonight. How's it going? Just trying to help my team out, trying to put some points on them, board. If we can run the ball in there, we'll run it all night. So absolutely. Rod Windsor here. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Randy. Chris Greisen and the iron attack. He went deep for the early touchdown pass to Tiger Jones. This one intended for Nate Force. He's another one of their talented wideouts. Just 21 years of age. He's second in the Arena League in receiving yards.
Yeah, Chris Bryson, he is a man of perseverance and endurance. We talked about this in the open. 5 different leagues, 10 different teams. In 2007 and 2008 combined for the Georgia Force, 208 touchdown passes. That's 104 touchdown passes in the 2 years on average. I couldn't do that going against air, Tommy Leander. I think I should do that in my dreams, but he's very quick, got great feet, and he understands this game to the teeth.
Bryson from his own end zone. It's caught, and into the front row goes Tiger Jones. Let's see if he hung on to the football. He did. a completed pass, and he turned into wallpaper.
Well, Tiger Jones, he's having a heck of a game so far. Again, nice little drop, good pass protection. Bryson throws off that back foot, goes up high, makes the catch. Basically, he's established himself inbounds as he goes into the front row. And Rattler fans, you can keep the football, but you got to throw the player back.
George Kelly blasting him into that front row. Chris Grayson, by the way, his first pro start came in the Arena Football League, playing for the Georgia Force here in Arizona against the Rattlers. He completes this one to Force. And what a game it was for Grayson in that first pro start here at U.S. Airways Center. 9 touchdown passes. His former coach in the Arena Football League is Doug Plank. Everybody knows Doug Plank. He was a broadcaster for the Rattlers, for the Arizona Cardinals. He was a defensive coordinator here with the Rattlers. He's been coaching in the NFL for the Falcons and the Jets, and Doug Plank will join us here in the booth in the second quarter.
You know you've made it when you got a defense named after you. The 46 defense that Buddy Ryan developed many, many years ago after one Doug Plank. I'll be interested to get his thoughts and comments about recently coaching with the New York Jets, what he's doing at Ohio State University, and how much the game of arena football has changed now that we've got the specialization that's going on versus the single platoon of many years ago, Tom.
Excellent run from Tyree Young, their 310-pound fullback. But you're right, Doug Plank, can't wait to have him here in the booth in the second quarter. And he has a lot of great stories, too, about Grayson and how he actually discovered Chris Grayson. We'll hear about that again in the second quarter. Meantime, we are done with one here at U.S. Airways Center. A couple of rushing touchdowns for Rod Windsor. Rattlers leading, looking for the 5th win of the season.
The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
When I start my day off right, I always feel better. So when I decided to cut back on expenses, my gym membership stayed, and the morning lattes, first to go. But even in tough times, you can't cut back on necessities, like health insurance. Good thing Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona just introduced new health plans that start at under $59 per month. So now I can stay healthy and still watch every penny. To find out more, call your broker, call 877-317-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/rates.
When Hall of Fame quarterback and coach Danny White discovered the exotic and enriching flavor of Zango juice for the first time, he couldn't help but be just a little curious. While researchers are just beginning to uncover the powerful scientific properties behind the mangosteen fruit, Danny White was inspired to perform a few experiments of his own. Experience higher energy levels and better stress management with the support of Zango's combination of mangosteen extracts. With Zango's delicious mix of antioxidants and ever-growing health benefits, we are finding that sometimes it's a little tough not to get carried away.
Honey, where's all the Zango?
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zango marketing team, or to learn about Zango products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themangosteenteam.com.
Rattlers leading after the first quarter, 13-6 on the Milwaukee Iron. They come in number 1 in the power poll in the Arena Football League. The Iron does. Tom Leander, Dan Minucci about to be joined by Doug Plank, who's a little tardy getting to the booth, but we can't wait to talk to him again about Chris Grayson. And you talked about, too, his plans for coaching at Ohio State University with Jim Tressel.
I think one of the things that Doug Plank brings to any kind of a program, whether it's the National Football League or it's here in the Arena Football League, is just making sure your points know good, solid mechanics, good, solid defense, and making sure you got that offense to carry you through.
Grayson whips it over to Force. You know, my first question to Doug Plank will be, would you fine one of your players for being late?
I would say this.
Tell him the top of the second quarter. I think that's some money for the kitty.
Well, you got to understand that Doug Plank, he's a very popular individual. All these Bear fans that come out of the woodwork in the summertime come to the Rattlers games, and I'm sure he was down there signing his autographs and doing all those things. But I agree. I think for our kangaroo court, there should be some kind of a fine. Maybe Friday's front row, maybe the first round of sodas on one Doug Plank, something like that after the game's over.
Well, now I know what he was doing, though. Behind the scenes, just putting on a Rattlers polo shirt. Boy, he is representing. Pitch play to Young. Look at the big 310-pounder, but he has stood up the 3-yard line. Little pushing, little shoving. Tempers starting to flare early in the second quarter.
Well, there was a lot of smack talk going on by this Milwaukee Iron team during the warm-ups. Not that the fans of the Arizona Rattlers would be talking any smack talk back to the Milwaukee Iron. So this is probably one of those scrums that we call offsetting penalties, or maybe a late hit, late block downfield by one of the Milwaukee Iron linemen, which it looks like it's going to be.
Referee tonight, Sean Hockley, the son of Ed Hockley, an NFL referee, and now joining us with the headset and the Rattlers shirt, Doug Plank. Great to have you here, Doug. And again, you have been a busy man over the last few years. You've been coaching the Arena Football League, also in the NFL. But again, just so happy to have you here. We're talking about you. You've got a great background with Chris Bryson as you coached him in Georgia with the Force.
Chris Bryson was a great quarterback. He recognizes things, and it really helped him, in terms of just his experience and recognition of defenses over the years.
Well, Bryson trying to put this team back into the end zone for the second time. First drive resulted in a long touchdown pass to Tiger Jones. This time he throws it into the second row of U.S. Airways Center.
Doug, the game has changed so much over the last several years when you were coaching with the Georgia Force. You were defensive coordinator, Danny White, several years ago. You go to the National Football League, and you do all the things you're doing. How has the game changed after the 1 year off?
The reality is, I think there are some changes, in terms of, but they're subtle. The game is basically still the same. You watch the offenses and defenses, the strategies are still the same. You can see that Danny White is still very efficient in running offenses. I would say, if anything else, with the hurried return of the Arena Football League, maybe some of the players that you saw in years past, you don't see them this year, and especially from a standpoint of economics.
Was the year off good for the Arena Football League to get back to grassroots, to make sure get the salaries in place, to get the fans back? Things got a little out of hand there.
Yeah, it really did, Dan. The fact is that I think the salaries of the players and coaches just reached the point that it was just unsustainable.
Well, it's going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt by Bob Forstrom. He's already missed a point-after attempt, as it's fourth down for Milwaukee, trailing by 7. Forstrom from 28 yards, and it's wide left, live off the net. Flag drops, goes into the hands of Terrence Sanders. He is dropped at the 10-yard line, so we'll see what the flag is all about. But, boy, it's been a rough night for the place kicker of the Milwaukee Iron, Bob Forstrom.
And we said in my keys coming at the very beginning of the game, this defense needs 2 stops. There's stop number 1. You got a team in Milwaukee that averages 66 points per game, and they only give up 57. The Rattlers give up 59 points per game, but they only score 64. So that's a win for the defense, right, Doug?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Just looking at the body language down there right now, there's no question that those missed kicks early in this football game are having an impact on just the mindset of this Milwaukee team.
Looked like a strong first quarter for Nick Davila, the starting quarterback now for the Arizona Rattlers. Of course, they had that long-time star quarterback in Cedric Bonner. Davila whips it, and it's complete to Rod Windsor. Windsor still going to the 24-yard line, close to another Arizona Rattler first down.
All right, Doug Plank, former NFL coach, probably be an NFL coach again. You were with the Jets. Rod Windsor, is he an individual that has that talent to go to the National Football League as a wide receiver?
I'll just say this. Anybody that has the athletic talent, the speed, the change of direction, has the capability of succeeding in the National Football League. The one thing there, once you get to the National Football League, you have to make so many adjustments quickly. It's the mental adjustments, Dan, more than the physical, that drive guys out of the league.
Well, Doug, you were the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Rattlers. Of course, head coach in Georgia, as Cream Smith is all over Davila. May have jumped off sides again, but as a defensive coordinator and being in charge of the defense in the Arena Football League, that has to be one of the toughest jobs in professional football, because all the rules are geared toward the offense and toward high scoring.
You never thought that keeping a game under 60 was a success for a defensive coordinator.
Especially when you have offenses like run by Danny White, and we were very successful. Steve Tunn, our coordinator, who's now the Cleveland head coach. The job that they did in terms of consistently putting up points made it much easier from a defensive coordinator or a head coach standpoint when you can consistently put up points like that.
That'd have been a lot more fun being up in the broadcast booth. Either for Rattlers broadcast or Cardinals broadcast, not nearly the pressure of being a D-coordinator in the Arena Football League. In motion, McKelvey stops a curl pattern over the middle to the 8-yard line. Another Arizona Rattler first down.
One of the things that Kareem Smith, 2 jumped offsides now. And what you're starting to see with this Rattlers offense, Dick Davila is doing is he's holding the count. And they saw that on the film, that he was jumping the snap count with the receiver in motion. That's twice now. That guy can't help but slow that pass when it's down, Doug.
Yeah, there's no doubt Arizona's doing a great job in controlling that snap of the ball in terms of the defensive pass rush.
J.J. McKelvey, the man in motion for Davila. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Whips it, corner of the end zone, and looks it good to J.J. McKelvey. First passing touchdown of the first half for Arizona. And getting down in here, it's a combo defense, man-zone combo. One of the things you're starting to see is Danny White has figured out what this defense is doing. That's going to come at you right to your right side of the screen. Look, post corner route, great timing by Nick Davila. Gets a little separation by McKelvey on the defensive back. Easy score, figuring out what you're running. Underneath routes, post corners, and figure out that combo combination they have down in the red zone, Doug.
Yeah, Danny's offense, they do a great job. Many times the receivers can actually run the route based on what defense they interpret as they're running it down the field.
The YouTube sensation, Fabrizio Scaccia, nails the point after. Again, you go on YouTube, you'll see a 68-yard field goal in a semi-pro game in Florida. Right now, Fabrizio has helped give the Rattlers the big-time lead in the second quarter, trying to take down a very difficult Iron team that came in with one of the best records in the Arena League.
Today, with the economy the way it is, if you get sick, the bills can make you even sicker. That's why you want to call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. They will tell you about their new health plans and help you choose the one that's right for you and your family. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona has introduced new and more affordable health insurance plans. So don't wait. Call your broker or call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona now to get the facts. To learn more, call your broker, call 866-691-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/TV.
Your wallet is filled with valuable things. Your identity, your money, your credit, even your memories. But if you ride, the most valuable thing in your wallet is your Law Tigers Biker Benefit Card. Because with this card and the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. The Law Tigers, Arizona's injury lawyers who ride.
There is a place where mind and body work in perfect sync. Energy is completely focused. Getting there means breaking barriers and redefining your edge. The time for change? Now. It all happens here. Zero to join, $19 a month. Pure Fitness. It's for everybody.
Rattlers with their third scoring drive of the first half. This drive brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arizona. 3 plays, 36 yards. Davila, the strike to J.J. McKelvey. Here comes Carlton Brown. Rattlers special teams swarming all over Brown. Johnny Curtin was there, along with Riley Swanson. Next Friday night, Arizona Rattlers hosting the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs right here at U.S. Airways Center. Good seats still available. Only $10. Order your tickets at 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com. Tom Leander, Dan Minucci, and Doug Blank in the booth here in downtown Phoenix. Love these Rattler fans. You don't see that in the NFL, do you?
No.
You see some face paint, but this is a different level of fanaticism.
You know, the intensity here, I still love these fans. You come down, they recognize who you are in terms of, having coached here, and it's a special experience.
And a special first half for Davila, 10 of 11, 104 yards, that touchdown. Bryson to Force, makes the grab, and takes it home for the touchdown. beating Brandon Freeman in coverage. The touchdown pass for Grayson, and that is number 2. The first one going to Tiger Jones.
Now, we watch this replay. You're going to see Brandon Freeman get a late jump on this route, and the course just goes right up the seam. Freeman comes up as if he's going to do a little bump and run, and he gets to the outside. He just can't catch him. The course just goes right up the field, and Bryson, with the nice touch that he has, just lays it up there for an easy touchdown. Again, this defensive backfield, sometimes a much maligned defensive backfield of this Arizona Rattlers team, Danny, and that's one of the things that Kevin Guy said. He hoped that things are starting to settle down since they simplified some of their defenses.
You know, one of the things, especially that technique, that's either going to be a stop or it's going to be a touchdown. And unfortunately for the Rattlers that time, it ended up being a touchdown.
Forsstrom, a forgettable night so far, lines up and nails this extra point. So the Rattlers lead is now 20-13 with 9:10 to go here until halftime. More with Dan Minucci and Doug Plank when we come back.
Elevate your everyday. Elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
I'm Pat McMahon, and I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience how many unique and inexpensive items I've come across at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart. You too can shop fantastic. Over 500,000 brand new items under one roof at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart, located at 27th Avenue in Camelback in Phoenix. You'll find everything you need and want at incredibly low prices. Open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. What's it called? The fantastic Indoor Swap Mart.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. This Saturday, it's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Now, what's wrong with this picture? Me and, well, two former NFL players. That's what it is. Dan Minucci and Doug Plank.
I thought you were saying Mo, Curly, and Larry all right here. No.
In the booth. Oh, this is great with this NFL experience behind me. But, Doug, you were talking during the break about the coverage by Brandon Freeman on that last touchdown pass from Chris Grayson.
Well, yeah, real common coverage in the Arena Football League is switch coverage where the DBs switch on receivers. But this time, Freeman is just a little bit slow in coming over. And when you jump a receiver, you can never let him get either with you or behind you. And Freeman, he had no opportunity. With Grayson's accuracy, over 70% in hitting his receivers, he had no chance in that.
Is that one of the things that impressed you with the Georgia Forces, Grayson's accuracy week in, week out? I mean, 67%. You talked about that. 208 touchdown passes in 2 years with you at the Georgia Force. He's got 55 on the year. Doug, I couldn't do that over the 25 years of just football that I played in.
Yeah, I think, that the fact that he impacted players around him, too, he made everybody else around him play a little bit better. But it was his accuracy, Dan, that really swayed my decision to keep him as a starter.
Terrence Sanders back to receive now for Arizona. Goes hard off the net, but caught the railing, and they'll mark it at the 5-yard line. Let's go back, though, and talk more about Chris Grayson and how you discovered him, along with Kubiak, who was a general manager in Georgia. Because at the time, Grayson was a backup quarterback in Dallas with the Desperados. He wasn't playing much. He was really the holder on point afters. But he told me yesterday in a phone conversation it was really the professionalism with which he approached his job which attracted you guys.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we've just been talking with him. I had the opportunity. I had met him earlier when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, and I'd done some broadcasting for the Cardinals. But, his ability to just throw accurately both in the Arena Football League as well as the NFL, it made a very easy decision.
And again, you never know who's watching. Might have just been an insignificant hold on some of the point afters and 1 or 2 drives with the Dallas Desperados. But the way he approached his job really caught the eye of Doug Plank. And led to a nice experience there with the force.
Also trying to slow down the pass rush of Kareem Smith is running up underneath, and that's what they did that time with Booker. They wanted to get to that pass rush, have Smith come up the field hard, do a little underneath counter, and don't be surprised if you start to see Danny screen to that side. So far, they pretty much neutralized Kareem Smith in his pass rusher.
Brandon Harvey split out wide right. Windsor and McKelvey to his left for Davila. Again, jumping off sides is Kareem Smith for the third time, but the pass is complete. And rolling ahead to the 9-yard line was J.J. McKelvey. Again, right into the gut of the defense. The offsides call will go against Smith.
And what Davila is doing is they're setting up Kareem Smith. They're going with the hard count on 2. Hut, hut. And you're starting to see as the receiver gets close to the line of scrimmage, that's the third offside penalty. Continue to pay to play in the second half. I guarantee you Kareem Smith is not going anywhere until he sees the ball snap. Sees the ball snap, not the motion man coming to the line of scrimmage.
Came in with the 5 sacks. Tied for the league lead. But again, he's been trying to anticipate the snap count of Davila. In motion, Brandon Harvey. Davila walks into Harvey. His pass is picked off. Picked off in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And that pass was telegraphed by Davila.
A very good job by Belton. Tracy Belton reads is pretty much a read route, old post corner route by Brandon Harvey as he gets to the inside. And Belton just watching the eyes. And again, coming to the route late. Guys are basically saying, hey, look, we're having the pass interference. The official says, no, it's an interception, and the ball turned over to Milwaukee.
Danny White hoping to reduce the amount of mistakes made by Nick Davila, but that's his 9th interception thrown this season. Back here from downtown Phoenix with Rattlers still on top by 7.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Is there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or some...
Bryson with a 35-yard completion moments ago to Tiger Jones all the way down to the 10-yard line of the Arizona Rattlers. Taking advantage of that interception in the end zone thrown by Davila.
Well, Bob Lanzi, the head coach of this team, knowing with his offensive coordinator just to make sure, say, hey, look, guys, let's get this thing going and make sure this Mark Studi taking a shot right off the bat off the interception.
And then off the hands of Tiger Jones into the front row goes the football. Incomplete pass. It'll be second down now for Milwaukee.
You know what, Doug? You got to have a great receiver in Damian Harrell. You got Nate Force. You got Tiger Jones. I mean, that quarterback does not have things happen without you got a great receiver.
You have to understand, though, that each one of those receivers runs great routes. But, let's face it, Tiger Jones is going to be your deep threat. So he comes on the backside in motion. You better get your rear end deep. That time the Rattlers totally unprepared for expecting Tiger Jones coming on the weak side all by himself.
Bryson motioning to Tiger Jones. Good protection. Fires and complete to Force. Hangs on for the touchdown. A miraculous catch between 2 Rattler defenders.
And this is just an absolute phenomenal throw by Chris Bryson. Force goes up in between. You get an inside-outside route. Force splits the seam with the post route. Goes up high and catches it. This young man with his height, it's 6'3", catches it. Strong hands, Doug. Going up there and catching it with your hands. Great tool. Great lesson for a lot of receivers up there with those strong hands.
You know what? It's never over till it's over, though. Until that receiver is down in the... They had opportunities that time. The Rattler defenders to yank that ball out before he touched the ground.
It was George Kelly and Brandon Freeman trying to make a sandwich of Nate Force. Hung out of the pass from Bryson. And now Milwaukee has tied up the Arizona Rattlers with 4:59 to go until halftime.
Zango?
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zango marketing team or to learn about Zango products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themangosteinteam.com.
Is there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or someone you love suffering from an addiction? Then it's time to do something about it. Calvary has been your addiction recovery solution for over 45 years.
It's an amazing experience.
Calvary saved my life.
Get help. Call Calvary Addiction Recovery Center at 866-76-SOBER before it's too late.
When I start my day off right, I always feel better. So when I decided to cut back on expenses, my gym membership stayed, and the morning lattes, first to go. But even in tough times, you can't cut back on necessities, like health insurance. Good thing Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona just introduced new health plans that start at under $59 per month. So now I can stay healthy and still watch every penny. To find out more, call your broker, call 877-317-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/rates.
Rattlers led 20-6, now 14 unanswered points by Milwaukee. 8 kids joined the Rattlers for a youth football clinic with Coach Kevin Guy and Danny White on Saturday, June 19th at U.S. Airways Center. Ages 5 to 17 are invited. Log on to azrattlers.com. Here comes Terrence Sanders, breaks free, gets to midfield, and finally jerked down at the 24-yard line of Milwaukee by their kicker, Bob Forstrom, who likes to mix it up. He's logged a number of tackles this season. That could have been a touchdown-saving tackle by Forstrom.
Well, that's what this team needs. Terrence Sanders, you get Trandon Harvey and Terrence Sanders have averaged right at close to 16 yards on the kickoff return. They need that. You just said it, Tom. They're up 20-6. They were in control. They need to continue to hold serve and not allow this Milwaukee team. That interception by Belton to Trandon Harvey on that last drive by the Rattlers. You're Nick Davila. You got to shake it off. You got to come right back, get rid of that. Now you got 9 interceptions. Just take that as a learning experience. Calm your team down by calming yourself down as a quarterback.
His counterpart, Chris Greisen, 8 of 10, 164 yards and 3 touchdowns. Davila coming off the interception made by Belton for the Iron. Along the sidelines, the ball is juggled and caught. An excellent catch there by Trandon Harvey. Somehow reeled it in.
How valuable, Doug, is to have a guy that the yards after catch, he's a return guy, he's got great hand, and he has that burst of speed to have all those combinations.
You know, it's invaluable because that person can make a big play at any time. You talked about the importance of a kickoff return. You know, starting the drive like great, but this time the concentration that Harvey had here and just continually holding on the ball, that's the kind of thing we're going to need on defense, too, in terms of trying to strip those receivers at the last second.
You know, some Rattler coaches have made the comparison for Trandon Harvey, saying he's a combo of Hunky Cooper and Randy Gatewood. You guys see that?
Randy Gatewood was a special young man, not just because he's our broadcast partner, because he could go both ways. He could do both ways. He could catch it. He could make the run. I mean, he's that complete football player, and that's what you had in the Arena Football League many years ago before the specialization came in.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Randy Gatewood, he was the best I've seen in terms of both ways. The ability that he had on offense, making great catches, and key plays on defense was just...
Don't let that humble pie attitude of Randy Gatewood fool you at all.
G-Money, very respectful of Trandon Harvey, but he's steaming right now. J.J. McKelvey kind of loping along. Davila whips it over to Harvey. Did he catch it? No, he dropped it at the 4-yard line.
Well, good job by Nick Davila that time to get to the outside. I mean, he does roll out very well. He's got good timing. He's got good touch. Got to be very careful, though, Doug. When you come back to the inside, throwing the football back inside, that's one of those catches that you have to make, those precious throws. But for a lot of offenses, the closer you get, the tougher it is to throw that score into the end zone.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. When things shrink down, it really makes it difficult to throw that ball. And that's why many times you'll see even passing offenses, once they get inside the 10-yard line, they'll convert into a running team.
Second down now for Arizona. Motion man is Rod Windsor. Split out wide right is J.J. McKelvey. Davila tried to sneak it forward and went down at the 15. Slammed to the turf by Tyrus Jackson.
Well, Tyrus Jackson, that's his 5th sack of the year. Letting everybody know that he got that sack. We're happy for you, Tyus. as he comes just to the right side. Just breaks away, comes back up, trying to hold him out, get him into the inside that time. Number 37, Johnny Curtin, can't contain him.
Wow, and an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Tyrus Jackson. After making the big stop of Davila, the Rattlers were going to be in a little bit of trouble here at the 15-yard line. Instead, unsportsmanlike conduct, and it'll be a Rattler first down.
You got to have that in Arena Football League. I mean, Tyus Jackson, he was getting into it during warm-ups with a lot of the fans. He was telling a lot of expletive deletives out there. And, again, you got to have some kind of decorum. You got to have some kind of integrity. And I'm glad that the officials are on top of that. Here you go again. Curtin trying to hold him off. He slams him down. And what you'll see is he'll come up with the very, very end. And there's Robinson again there. He'll come up, give a little drop kick or field goal kick. And that's what they call it on.
And then a muff snap for the Rattlers. Kyle Young trying to snap it to Davila. More flags and another offside call against the Iron defense.
You got to love the snap count. That's got to be very frustrating for your defensive coordinator, Doug Plank, that they have figured out Kareem Smith and also with Robinson, and also the big fellow right there, Zarnell Finch, to making sure that they worked on it. And Danny White talked about that. They said, we're going to work on that snap count because these guys are jumping the center snap.
You almost wonder about it, Dan, though. There are some teams in this league that don't care about offsides as long as their linemen on that infraction are hitting the quarterback. The 5 yards of penalty are worth hitting the quarterback.
Boy, some costly mental mistakes for the Milwaukee defense. 9 penalties against the Iron, and down goes Davila at the 12. Slammed to the turf, Brian Robinson. He has been a man on the move defensively for the Iron here in the first half.
Well, for a left-handed quarterback, this sack coming from his left face side, as we call that, getting around John Booker at the left tackle there. Again, you're looking right. He's coming to your front side. Typically, most left-handed quarterbacks or right-handed quarterbacks will see the rush coming from their front side, but he was so focused on looking at the post corner route to his right that he basically lost track. Again, that pass rush that we're starting to see from this Milwaukee Iron team starting to come to fruition here at the end of the first half.
We hit the 1-minute mark here of the second quarter. A minute to go until halftime. Rattlers will have it second down and 12 when we come back.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and a
Honey, where's all the Zango?
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zango marketing team or to learn about Zango products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themangosteinteam.com.
To go in the first half of the Rattlers, that means a minute to go with Doug Plank, and you're off to Ohio State. Your next job, a position created by Jim Tressel. I don't even know if there's a name for this job, but they want you so badly they're going to create a position for you.
It's great to go back to a school where you played as a player and had a lot of success, and especially being part of a winning program and just the character of Jim Tressel as the head coach.
Davila pitch fake, goes over to Rod Windsor. Windsor has a seam, and he goes for the touchdown. And a late hit, another flag drop against Milwaukee.
This is such a well-designed play. Danny White seeing the pass rush coming at Nick Davila, and you're going to see the fake pitch out, going to the left side, coming back left. Good job, nice little kick-out block down the field, and there's Rod Windsor finding the seam and getting up into the touchdown. Great call, great situation to put that pass rush at ease, or I'd like to say, Doug, at neutral position when you come up underneath it.
There's nobody better in any league at running screens to slow down a defensive line like Danny White. He's got a great feel for it. He's got a number of different screens, and you can see that time just called it at the right time.
And Carlton Brown of Milwaukee flagged for the late hit. Another ill-advised shot by Milwaukee. That might have been one of the ugliest scoring drives for the Rattlers. And another penalty against Milwaukee after Scottia nailed the point after he was hit by one of the Iron players. Boy, we'll take a timeout and talk more about this Milwaukee team unraveling as the Rattlers and Rod Windsor stick it in for 6. Scottia the extra point, 7-point advantage for Arizona.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. With seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Your attention, please. Goodbye Auto Auction is auctioning off high-quality used automobiles and trucks. Every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., Goodbye Auto Auction offers you an opportunity to bid on a huge inventory of well-conditioned automobiles. Bidding starts as low as $300. The gates open at 8. Auction starts at 9. Goodbye Auto Auction is located at 2956 West Osborne. For more information, call 602-523-3339. Remember, it's every Wednesday at Goodbye Auto Auction.
Today, with the economy the way it is, if you get sick, the bills can make you even sicker. That's why you want to call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. They will tell you about their new health plans and help you choose the one that's right for you and your family. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona has introduced new and more affordable health insurance plans. So don't wait. Call your broker or call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona now to get the facts. To learn more, call your broker, call 866-691-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/TV.
Rattlers on top 27-20. The scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arizona. Davila now 14 of 17, 152 yards, a couple of touchdowns and interception. Rod Windsor has 3 touchdowns for the Rattlers in the first half. Little squib kick by Scottia. It's still loose and recovered by Milwaukee at the 15-yard line. Hey kids, join the Rattlers for a youth football clinic with Coach Kevin Guy and Danny White on Saturday, June 19th at U.S. Airways Center, ages 5 to 17. Invited. Log on to ArizonaRattlers.com. That is azrattlers.com. The clinic goes from 1 to 4 p.m. The cost is just $30 and includes a Rattlers t-shirt. Back with Dan Manucci and Doug Plank, and just a mass of mental errors by this Milwaukee team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, a late hit in the end zone, running into the kicker, and then the Rattlers tried his onside kick.
And Riley Swanson almost gets it. Hit for number 21. A lot of scrum going on there. There's Riley. Sees it right there at the very end. You see a couple Rattlers right there. Kevin Guy coming out with a little trickery on this play, up 27-20. And wouldn't you know it, Doug, you got a situation now where you see Milwaukee trying to hold serve against this Arizona Rattler team. There's your penalties right there, and you see Arizona 1 penalty to Milwaukee Iron 10 penalties.
Yeah, you can really feel the momentum of this game has shifted towards the Rattler side.
And because of running into the kicker after the onside kick, it was marked at the 15-yard line. They push it back 10 yards to midfield. Grayson to a wide-open receiver and down to the 1-yard line. The catch is made by Tiger Jones, their big play threat.
Over there to come up late is Brandon Freeman. And again, great pass protection for Grayson. He drops back. He looks left, comes back to his right side at the very end. This is probably the 3rd receiver to come to as far as Tiger Jones. Freeman gets over there. Freeman has got to come in and cover that quarter of the field, Doug. That's his responsibility. Nobody comes out. He's got to cover that quarter, I should say that 3rd of the field.
Yeah, exactly. At this stage of the game, it looked like they were playing a zone defense, and it's almost impossible trying to play a zone against an offense like Milwaukee, and especially with a quarterback like Greason that has the ability to get it out very quickly and accurately.
Now, to talk about as a former head coach here in the Arena Football League, the Rattlers really going for a 2-for-1 situation with that onside kick. Okay, Milwaukee might take it into the end zone, but Rattlers would get another possession and still lots of time on the clock in the Arena League.
And this is really a very hard concept for a lot of football fans to accept, this scoring back and forth, but it really does make sense when you've been in this league a long time, especially as far as Danny White is concerned.
And it almost seems like the penalties are a non-factor when games are going back and forth like this, Doug.
No question.
Trying to ram it in as Grayson comes up short. And the clock will stop with 41 seconds to go until halftime.
Chris Bryson, when you think of the way how far he's come, here's a young man that has a quarterback academy in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He went AF2. Tom, you talked about it. Played in the World League. I mean, he's bounced around. I just think that the perseverance and endurance of a guy that's been around 10 different teams with 5 different leagues over a 12-year span shows the character and integrity that I think that any coach would want as a quarterback leading his team.
Dan, you talked about something earlier in this half that I think really nails it right on the head, and that is his ability to just control his own emotions. You never see him out of control yelling and screaming at the fans or other fellow players. And his teammates, they see that. They see his natural leadership abilities and his willingness to take hits back in the pocket and perform and make the big throws, and that's why his team has been so successful.
Played in the UFL last season for Jay Gruden and the Florida Tuskers. He'll be heading back to the UFL in August. You see coming up at the half, Randy Gatewood will be joined by offensive coordinator Danny White. Into the end zone goes Milwaukee. The 1-yard scoring plunge by Tyree Young. And the Rattlers will still have 37 seconds to try to score to end this first half.
Doug, it's interesting now that you've got specialization. Here's Tyree Young. He's a fullback at 300 pounds. You've got offensive linemen that are 300+ pounds. Since guys don't go back both ways anymore, you're starting to see a scenario where you have the true offensive lineman, the true defensive lineman, but fullback's still 300+ pounds in the Arena Football League.
I think there is such a need, though, to be able to stop as well as score inside the 5-yard line. You're going to continue to see fullbacks and middle linebackers around that 300 area.
Forsstrom with the point after ties us up at 27. Again, there's 37 seconds on the game clock. And Dan Minucci, Doug Plank, we saw the Rattlers leading 20-6. But Milwaukee has stormed back here in the first half. I want to go back to this job with Ohio State because maybe your position will be that of a motivational speaker. You had a great story, as you were telling me last season. You're coaching the NFL with the Jets. You have a bye week, and Tressel calls and says, we need an honorary captain before the game against Purdue. Ohio State against Purdue. You go into the locker room, and somehow you really fired up those young men because they came out smoking and win that game against the Boilermakers.
Actually, it was against Penn State. I was only about 1 hour away, 1 hour driving distance from New Jersey, New York area, and I drove over there, and what a great experience. They were struggling at the time because they had just lost to Purdue, and their season could have went either way, and I tried to give them my best stuff, and I was encouraging them all game long because, if they lost that game, I could put on the motivational speaker to talk to the team that morning. I go, man, I don't want to go down. You guys are going to come out and smoke, the Indy Lions, which they did that game and carried themselves off to the rest of the season.
But Doug, talk about a class individual in Jim Tressel and a class program at Ohio State University. Gene Smith leading that charge, who was at Arizona State University for several years.
Yeah, Gene is, most people know him here from Arizona State, but Jim is just a great CEO of the whole football operation. He does so many great things for the state of Ohio as well as individual players.
Terrence Sanders trying to grab it off the net. Picks it up. Horse collared at the 14-yard line. See where they mark it. They'll put it at the 16-yard line for the Rattlers.
One of the things that Danny White talked about this week, guys, is that how you end the first half. This game set up 27-27. He wanted the football at the very end of the first half. Now, if he could milk the clock down 33 seconds and get that final score, somewhat of a clock, if you will, 2-minute offense, that's what Danny preferred. Now, he'll take a quick score. But he said if you got the momentum going into the end zone, you hold serve, you take the lead. That is so huge in arena football.
On the fly is Rod Windsor. Davila, good protection, goes to Windsor. Flag drops. He's pushed out near midfield. And now 29 seconds left to go in the half for Arizona.
Doug, where is the momentum switch or momentum change during the Arena Football League game? We're trying to figure that out in 75-74.
Dan, I'm telling you, you hit on a very important point. 90% of the wins that I had in arena football, we scored on the last possession and the other team didn't score. So I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't have a huge impact on the second half of the game, but it does. And here's why. Those players are in that locker room at halftime thinking about what just happened. And if it's a positive thought, then they're going to have upbeat comments and thoughts, during the second half. And it just gives you momentum coming out of the second half. So the philosophy you just talked about there, I think that's one of the most important ingredients of arena football. Have the ball at the end of the half and score.
Nick Davila, when you look at Nick Davila, you look at this situation of Cedric Bonner, watching him at a young age, and then watching Cedric Bonner. Any similarities with the two lefties?
You know, it's funny watching both of them throw, especially from behind. They look very, very similar, but you know, I think, you know, Bonner, over the course of his career, you know, he had a set group of receivers and
Pass is dropped by Windsor. Took his eyes off the ball as he started to run before making the grab. Anthony Ivy was about ready to descend upon him defensively. And now 25 seconds to go, second down for the Rattlers offense.
You had a chance to coach the New York Jets this last year. Mark Sanchez, talk about his poise, talk about the transition he made the second half of the season for you guys to go to the playoffs.
Well, I think it was really hard for him just to get through such a long season. It's with the preseason and regular season, it's 20 games, playoff games on top of that. That was a challenge for Mark.
Davila drops back. This one is caught by Windsor. Breaks free along the sidelines and is pummeled against the boards at the 5. Rattlers making their move. Again, they want to try to chew up as much of the clock as possible.
You know, I think the whole thing is with the early offside penalties, the snap counts, that if someone, that I think have neutralized this defensive line. Nick Davila is now getting the pass protection. He's finding guys. You're seeing a lot of the field spread out more so, and you're seeing these gaping holes in the defense with the passing game.
You know, one thing about trying to defend against screens, too, like this Milwaukee team has tried to do, it tires out your defensive linemen trying to run back at receivers running down the field.
Milwaukee will call the timeout. So again, they look up at the clock and say, well, if Arizona scores, we still could have time left to try to put it into the end zone. Rattler fans, Lower Bowl season tickets are still on sale. That's right, 4 games starting at just $40. Call 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com. So Doug, one thing we haven't touched upon is the bumps and bruises and maybe some of the punishment you took during your NFL career. We've had a knee replacement, we've had shoulder surgery, and you still look so fit.
You know, it's one of those things that someone told me one time, Doug, you only have so many hits in your body, and I said, yeah, okay, of course. But as time goes on, you know, now that last week I had my right knee replaced, I replaced my left shoulder 18 months ago, and I'm scheduled for a right shoulder replacement in another 2 weeks. I believe him now. I believe him because after year, you know, averaging about 100 tackles a season, it does take its toll.
But he hasn't talked about all the knee replacements he's caused as a player and the neck joints that he's caused as a player.
This guy is made of titanium.
Paybacks, Doug Blank.
You know, it's funny talking to Danny down there before the game today. He just said, Doug, I got a lump in my chest here from where you hit me. But, you know, it's one of those things. This is a tough sport, and I admire every person that's down there on that field.
First and goal. Davila. He is rattled and sent down. Tyrus Jackson. He was the one that was flagged for the unsportsmanlike conduct call. More theatrics from Tyrus. It looks like he wants to be the place kicker of this team.
Yeah, well, one of the things, and then I think, Doug, for a lot of people as a quarterback, things are slowly developed. He comes late. Tyrus Jackson comes late. At this point in time, you've got to throw that football away. Now, the field possession's not going to hurt you per se. It becomes second down. But you don't want to lose that 5 yards. If you see that he's coming late, you got to throw that football, make it a souvenir for the Rattler fans. Or you don't want to lose that precious possession. On top of that, you don't want to take the shot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You never want to get your quarterback, as you know, Dan, hit very often because sometimes it doesn't have to be a very intense hit, you know, to actually knock somebody out or knock their arm out or whatever the case might be. And you don't mind losing some yards. Going back to the 10-yard line, that still puts you in a position you can run all your routes. But tell you what, now the ball's back to the 15-yard line with a whole new dimension for the offense.
And when you have Mac backers like Gerald Shropshire of the Arizona Rattlers at 6'2", 300, and Tyus right there, he's pushing about 295. They get, a 10-yard head start. The mass times force times velocity. It's something, I think you light up the city block, wouldn't you?
No, there's no question. It really helps in compressing the pocket.
And Davila has taken his hits here in the first half. Not exactly a power Rattlers offense, but here the completion and the touchdown. Again, it goes to Rod Windsor, who has had a massive first half for Arizona. We talk about timing. We talk about touch.
For Nick Davila, this is a phenomenal throw as Windsor comes out of his break. Look at this time. He hits that left step. He throws it. Windsor hasn't even turned around yet. The very last second, he comes out of his break, and that ball is on the money. That's why Danny White talks about this young man and getting the football off. He learned his lesson on that last interception that Belkin had. Just throw it away. If you throw it in the third row, nobody gets hurt.
And solid time management by Arizona with just 8 seconds on the clock. Scaccia with a point after, and he boots it through. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns for Rod Windsor in the first half alone.
Yeah, Windsor, what a great catch, but as you said, Dan, what a great throw by the Arizona quarterback, Davila. Just threw the ball right where it had to be at perfect timing.
The other thing, too, that I'm impressed with Nick Davila tonight is he's taking shots after he throws the football. A lot of times as a quarterback, you're not going to see the completion. You hope, you trust, you throw it, and you have to trust your throw. There's many times where he's on the ground that he's listening to the reaction of the crowd, whether it's incomplete or a touchdown.
You know, sometimes you get hung up on the sacks, quarterback sacks. Geez, you know, the line's doing a great job because there's not many sacks. Sometimes that can be further from the truth than you could expect because it's hitting the quarterback, knocking him on the ground. Even if it isn't a sack, it's impacting his ability to throw, stay back in the pocket, and throw accurately.
Hey, Rattler fans, you could win the Blue Cross Blue Shield Ultimate Fan Experience giveaway. The prize package includes 2 front row seats to a Rattlers home game, meeting Danny White, a pregame meeting with Rattlers players, the coin toss, and an autographed Danny White replica jersey. Go to azrattlers.com and enter to win the Ultimate Fan Experience giveaway. Scaccia, does he go deep with this kick? We see a bit of a squib. The strong-legged Scaccia brought in a couple weeks ago for Jason Woodsock catches the iron. It's picked up by Damian Harrell. He'll take it out of bounds at the 13-yard line with 5 seconds on the clock.
You know what? That's great special teams right there. This special team of the Rattlers came down the field, and they all stopped at the 15-yard line because they wanted the kickoff return to use up the clock. And very wisely, he gets out of bounds because he realizes everybody's just sitting back waiting for him. Go ahead, return it, use up the clock. It's a great play. Good job that time by Kevin Guy and the special team.
You know, it's funny, Dan, they say you can learn something every day. I just learned something there. I've never seen that ever done by a special team, but what a great concept in burning time off the clock.
Damian Harrell, an AFL legend, the all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdown catches. Bryson, final seconds of the first half. He makes the magic pump fake along the sidelines, and then going out of bounds is Harrell. There is no time left on the clock.
Oh, this is going to be close. I may have to review this because I don't know what Damian Harrell was thinking. He catches this ball. He just got to get up the field. He puts his hand outside. You got to physically touch the dasher board over there at the new time sign in order to be out of bounds. You just can't take the ball on the outside, stop the clock. You have to physically touch the dasher board.
A conference right now amongst the officials. Kevin Guy says the half is over.
When the runner
and I believe the officials will agree with Kevin Guy. Are we done? No, now they're marking it. It looked like Guy was pleased with the result of that conference. Instead, let's take another look. They'll put a second on the clock.
Well, here he is right here. He's going down. He steps on the line. So the official felt maybe since he stepped on the line and put the ball out of bounds. That's the only thing I can imagine. He initially puts the ball out over the dashboard. He eventually stepped on the line. That makes sense there.
Well, Guy now talking it over with the officials. He and some of his players appear to be headed for the locker room.
Well, I don't think we have the advantage of seeing the replay, as does the official. But his foot was on that line as he went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Kevin Guy's done a great job in managing the clock this first half. It's both offense as well as the defense, and you can see how involved he is, shouting out orders to each and every one of his players before he exits the field.
And with 1 second left, it will be a 43-yard field goal attempt by Bob Forstrom, who has kicked 4 field goals so far this season. That's third best in the Arena Football League. To end the first half, the kick is up, and the kick is good from 43 yards by Forstrom.
that extra second for Milwaukee at the end of the half really pays off for the Iron. Well, that's still considered a stop. That's stop number 2 that the Arizona Rattlers have had in this first half, 34-30. That's a victory for that defense, Doug.
Yeah, it sure is. And I think that they knew that they had a difficult challenge coming in tonight, trying to stop this offense and Chris Bryson, and I think they've done a fine job here in the first half.
Randy Gatewood is with head coach Kevin Guy.
Down here with Coach Guy. Coach Guy, offense and defense seemed a little out of sync in the second quarter. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it's a back-and-forth game. We gave up some big plays that we didn't want to give up, but we played the 1-minute situation like we wanted to get other than that last second right there.
Absolutely. And last, what kind of adjustments can we make in the second half to slow down this pass rush besides them jumping off sides and the penalties and stuff?
Well, the refs are doing a pretty good job. We told them before the game their D-line are trying to time their pass rush up with the high motion. And, we've been getting some penalties, but it's also when those guys are allowed to get those jumps, once they get a jump on the offensive lineman, our pass sets are all messed up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Randy. Halftime here in downtown Phoenix. Our thanks to Doug Plank. Best of luck in Columbus.
Thank you.
With the Buckeyes.
Thank you.
Kind of heading home, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Doug, good seeing you. Best of luck to you. 34-30. Stick around. Highlights and Randy Gatewood with Danny White on the other side.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
No matter where you ride, what you ride, or who you ride with, you can count on the Law Tigers. We've created a free valuable benefit card that motorcyclists can't afford to be without. Free legal advice, a $10,000 hit-and-run reward, a 24-hour accident hotline, but most importantly, peace of mind. Designed by riders for riders, the Law Tigers Biker Benefit Card. Available at your favorite motorcycle shop or online at lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Arizona's injury lawyers who ride.
Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for. It is a thing to be achieved. You control that destiny. With every movement and every motion. What's your destiny? $0 to join, $19 a month. Pure Fitness.
And welcome back to Rattlers Saturday Night. We're live here at U.S. Airways Center as the Arizona Rattlers try to defend home field advantage against the Milwaukee Iron. I am Katie Hartley. The Arizona Rattlers have just a 4-point advantage, 34-30. Earlier today, our own Randy Gatewood had a chance to sit down with Danny White. Let's hear what Coach had to say.
Thanks, Katie. Sitting here with Coach White this afternoon. Always a pleasure sitting right next to you, hanging out with you. Good to see you, Randall. Question for you. How do you feel the first half of the season has gone so far? Well, it's been an interesting first half of the season, and we've been kind of trying to figure out who we are. A bunch of different guys from different parts of the country, different backgrounds. We have 15 expansion teams in the league this year, and a lot of these guys haven't played together before. So some teams gel a little bit quicker than others. I feel like we're just now kind of hitting our stride, and chemistry is starting to come around. So it's been a kind of a feeling out process, and I think right now we're in a position to make a run and really capitalize on the talent that we have on this team. Which brings me to my next question. What adjustments can we look forward to for the second half of the season, and what are you guys going to do to gear up for this run to possibly make it into a championship? Well, what you hope is that there aren't very many adjustments at all. You hope you stay healthy, first of all, and that's something that we can't control. Injuries just happen, and it's a big part of any championship run is to keep your key players healthy. So we hope there aren't any changes personnel-wise. We like the guys we got. We like the lineup we've got. We're not trying to necessarily replace anybody like we were at the start of the season. So the changes are going to be becoming more comfortable with the offense, more comfortable with the defense, more comfortable with the system, and just getting more efficient at executing it.
Truly. Me playing through all those years, I can totally relate to what you're talking about. We always looked for that second half of the season to just continue with the momentum we carried for that first half of the season. So totally agree with you. And the last question is, if there's one player on the team who you feel like has made a huge difference this year, speak a little bit about him. Tell us about him.
Well, there have been a lot of impact players for us so far this year, but I'd have to say to this point it's been probably Rod Windsor. He's the guy that Nick Davila has gained a lot of confidence in. Those two have a rapport that's building. J.J. McKelvey is a solid player that does a lot of things that the average fan doesn't recognize. He's the one that stretches the defense. He's the one that fights through that jam coverage that opens up the other receivers. Rod Windsor gets the ball and does some amazing things with it. So Rod put up the numbers. J.J. has been kind of the assist guy that's helped Rod do that. But Rod Windsor has been just an amazing, had an amazing season so far this year, and I hope it continues. But he's been the catalyst, I think, for our offense, which has been steady. Now the defense is starting to catch up, and we've got some impact players on defense too that are starting to emerge.
Okay, very interesting. I had a chance to spend a little time with Rod at practice this past week, and very special kid, kind of a quiet assassin, but he enjoys playing the game. So always a pleasure. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy. Good to be with you.
Back to you, Katie.
Thanks, Randy, and a big thanks to Coach for taking a few minutes and sitting down with us. Now, the Arizona Rattlers really need this home game win today. They've got some tough road games ahead of them at the end of June and the beginning of July. They've got one in Spokane and one in Chicago, both teams they lost to last month. Coming up next, we'll have the first half highlights with our own Randy Gatewood.
Elevate your night, elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
I'm Pat McMahon, and I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience how many unique and inexpensive items I've come across at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart. You too can shop fantastic. Over 500,000 brand new items under one roof at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart, located at 27th Avenue in Camelback in Phoenix. You'll find everything you need and want at incredibly low prices. Open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. What's it called? The fantastic Indoor Swap Mart.
Is there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or someone you love suffering from an addiction? Then it's time to do something about it. Calvary Center knows exactly what people need to get and stay in recovery.
It changed my life.
It's your choice if you want to live or you want to die.
Call Calvary Addiction Recovery Center at 866-76-SOBER or visit us online at calvarycenter.com.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
And welcome back to Rattlers Saturday Night. We're live here at U.S. Airways Center. I'm Katie Hartley. He's Randy Gatewood. Now, Randy, you're really the pro here, so as we move into some first half highlights, can you tell us your thoughts?
Here we go. Rattlers first half. Nick Davila drops back. He throws the ball to Rod Windsor. Gets tackled on the 2-yard line, which sets up his first rushing touchdown of the game where he sticks it out over the line.
Of course, the iron comes right back. Gleason throws a home run ball to Jones, who makes a great penalty ball and takes it in also. Then they come right back. Windsor runs it in for a second rushing touchdown at a half. They come right back. J.J. Big Play McKelvey on the end of that touchdown pass from Davila. Of course, Gleason comes right back. Force home run ball again. First half, lots of home run balls. They come back again in the second half. This was the only mistake Davila made in the first half. One interception. Gleason comes back again. Another home run ball to Jones, which sets up a remarkable catch from Force here. In between two defenders. Amazing. Comes back again. Rod DeGod on the quick screen takes it in from 16 yards out for his fourth touchdown of the first half. We almost had this onside kick. Bobbled around, bounced around a lot. Unfortunately, they got it. Iron takes it in from 1 yard out here, which gives plenty of time left on the clock for the Rattlers to come back and score one more time. Davila, last touchdown to Rod DeGod. Great throw, great timing throw. Of course, field goal ends the half from them. Phenomenal kick. There you have it. First half highlights coming at you right now. Rod Windsor, huge first half, Katie.
Thanks so much, Randy. We'll be back with more first half analysis when we come back with Tom and Dan. And, Dan and Tom coming up next on Saturday Night Rattlers on AZTV.
When Hall of Fame quarterback and coach Danny White discovered the exotic and enriching flavor of Zango juice for the first time, he couldn't help but be just a little curious. While researchers are just beginning to uncover the powerful scientific properties behind the mangosteen fruit, Danny White was inspired to perform a few experiments of his own. Experience higher energy levels and better stress management with the support of Zango's combination of mangosteen extracts. With Zango's delicious mix of antioxidants and ever-growing health benefits, we are finding that sometimes it's a little tough not to get carried away.
Honey, where's all the Zango?
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zango marketing team, or to learn about Zango products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themangosteenteam.com.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
A gorgeous night in the Valley. Rattlers leading here at halftime on AZTV 34-30, aiming for their third consecutive win of the season. Tom Leander back with Dan Minucci. The Arizona offense didn't always look sharp, still somehow managed those 34 points, but you were pretty happy with the Rattlers defense coming up with a couple of stops.
Yeah, I think the key there is that they got the two stops. They forced the two field goals, and one of the things I really thought was key was that screen pass to Rod Windsor at the very end of the game where they go in and took control. Hey, it was 20-7 at one time here in the first quarter. This Arizona Rattlers team looks focused. They look like they're ready to play, and their defense is starting to come around.
Dan, let's take a look at some of the stats. This Milwaukee Iron team, they were hammered by penalties. Boy, time and again, 65 penalty yards assessed against the Iron. And what else jumps out at you here? Again, Milwaukee, no turnovers because they have that quarterback Grice, and it just doesn't throw any interceptions.
Well, the key there is the offside penalties. When you get the 3 offside penalties by that team, that's what you're going to get. You got 4 out of 6 holes. So basically, there's the 2 holes right there that we talked about forcing the field goal. I think one of the keys more than anything was just getting Kareem Smith and jump offside to neutralize this pass defense, this pass rush that they had. I think when you see those types of things going on, you've got a defense in this Milwaukee Iron that is starting to fake versus react. But when you look at the stats, look at all the situations, it's the 2 holes forcing the 2 field goals with the number 1 offense, that being the Milwaukee Iron. The Rattlers are starting to get their groove on with the defense.
And before the game, we talked about Rod Windsor. We spoke about him at halftime. What a first half for Rod Windsor. 8 receptions, 2 receiving touchdowns, 2 rushing TDs for Rod Windsor.
Your attention, please. Goodbye Auto Auction is auctioning off high-quality used automobiles and trucks. Every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., Goodbye Auto Auction offers you an opportunity to bid on a huge inventory of well-conditioned automobiles. Bidding starts as low as $300. The gates open at 8. Auction starts at 9. Goodbye Auto Auction is located at 2956 West Osborne. For more information, call 602-523-3339. Remember, it's every Wednesday at Goodbye Auto Auction.
Your wallet is filled with valuable things. Your identity, your money, your credit, even your memories. But if you ride, the most valuable thing in your wallet is your Law Tigers Biker Benefit Card. Because with this card and the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. The Law Tigers, Arizona's injury lawyers who ride.
Honey, where's all the Zango?
To join Danny White and the Rattlers Zango marketing team or to learn about Zango products, call 888-700-0444 or go to themangosteinteam.com.
First of 3 straight at home for the Rattlers. They come in, though, here at U.S. Airways Center, just 1-2 on their home turf. Meantime for the Milwaukee Iron, 6-2 record. They're perfect at home, 5-0 in Milwaukee, and just 1-2 on the road. Scotcha will get us started to begin the third quarter. Back to receive, Carlton Brown for the Iron. Off the soft net between the uprights. Here comes Carlton Brown past the 10-yard line, and finally roped down at the 16. You know, when you talk about Chris Gryson and this offense, the Arizona Rattlers have done a phenomenal job. He's only 10 for 12 with the 3 touchdown passes, and those are victories for this defense, and that's one of the things Kevin Guy wanted to do. He wanted his secondary to be physical. He wanted his guys up front to be physical. He wanted push, and he wanted to make sure that the guys that are getting inside there and making the moves like Ron Jones and Alex Guerrero are getting their share of harassing, if not anything, harassing one Chris Gryson the entire night. Not first half, but for the entire night. Gryson, who lives in Green Bay, he commutes to practice every day and is able to get home with his wife and 4 kids for dinner and tuck them into bed. He said the only team he would play for in the AFL would be this Milwaukee Iron team. Completion to Nate Force, one of his favorite targets. And Nate Force has been big. He's had over 700 receiving yards out of the last 8 games, and I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Nate Force getting ring involved, and Jones and Damian Harrell. I mean, you're looking at an all-time receiver in Damian Harrell who's pretty much quiet that first half. So the Rattlers having a 34-30 lead, they can't go to sleep with the switcher. They got to keep that aggressiveness that they had that second quarter. Nate Force, receiver who spent 3 years at West Virginia playing for Rich Rodriguez, and there is Harrell. On the money was Grayson. You said he was quiet in the first half, but the opening touchdown of the second half goes from Grayson to the veteran Harrell. I didn't mean to wake the sleeping giant up. Kevin Guy, I'm sorry about that, but your Damian Harrell is a guy that you've got to get involved. He just goes right up in the slot. You got man-to-man. You got to get coming over there. Terrence Sanders gets over there late. Very well timed. We talked about the timing of Nick Davila and what he's done and all the other situations in the first half. That play there is just great timing by Chris Gryson and one of the all-time greats, Damian Harrell. And Dan, it's the first lead for the Milwaukee Iron tonight. Rattlers scored the first touchdown. They tried a 2-point conversion. They led 6-0. Milwaukee tied it up at 6. And then Arizona exploded to take a 20-6 lead. Milwaukee came back in that first half, and on comes Forstrom, the 26-year-old, who kicked a 43-yard field goal to end the first half. This field goal, this extra point, is blocked by Darryl Shropshire.
Shropshire does a great job. That's one of those proverbial stops that you want right there, as he does a good, excellent job of making the stop. Daryl Shropshire, the guy that moved to Mac Backer, getting that pass rush up the middle, getting a huge block here as you get into it. That's one of those victories. Even though they get the touchdown given up, Daryl Shropshire, the guy that's making the changes and helping the sacks, holds serve. Milwaukee lead 36-34 over the Rats.
Elevate your everyday. Elevate your game. Casino, Arizona.
The human body is a machine. Our minds are conditioned for success. Our bodies are built to endure. To be strong, challenged, and strengthened. It's time to defy your machine. $0 to join, $19 a month. Pure Fitness. It's for everybody.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Rattlers Saturday night on AZTV, and next Friday night, the Rattlers host the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs right here at U.S. Airways Center. Good seats are still available for only $10. Order your tickets at 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com. Chris Bryson with his fourth touchdown pass, giving the Iron the lead. And again, goes off the iron, the metal bars behind the nets, and the Rattlers will take over at the 5-yard line.
You know, and let me tell you why that's still a victory if you don't make the extra point attempt or it's blocked. Now the Rattlers, it's okay to kick a field goal. You go up 37-36. Now it's just a matter of holding serve. I mean, you score a touchdown or you get a field goal on this opening drive. A very key opening drive for the Arizona Rattlers. And I expect to see Nick Davila go ahead and continue to throw the short passing game, to go ahead and run the screens, to go ahead and throw. And don't just imagine that they take a shot in trying to throw the football deep down the field to one Trandon Harvey.
Harvey, one of the wideouts, along with McKelvey and Rod Windsor, had that huge first half. In motion was McKelvey. He is locked up along the sidelines. There you go, the hooch. Looking for Trandon Harvey, and it's broken up by Anthony Ivey.
Well, offensive coordinators, I guess, and Danny White, we think alike sometimes. This was a great opportunity, and they basically call this just throw it. Trandon Harvey just coming down the field. Good coverage that time by Anthony Ivey. This football is thrown just a little bit underneath, and the way this play is set up is Danny White will call a post corner, and the go route, and he'll say throw it, meaning that Nick Davila, whether he's covered or not, is to throw that football down the field, just slightly underthrown. Otherwise, that's 6 points for Trandon Harvey.
Davila now 17 of 22 passing, has 3 touchdowns, whips it along the sidelines, in and out of the hands of Harvey as a flag drops at the 14-yard line. Atlas Harrion losing his helmet. Milwaukee penalized 10 times in the first half. Will this be another one?
Foul on the play. Result of the play, incomplete pass. Third down.
So it just goes as an incomplete pass.
But they're going to pick the flag up. But again, this Arizona Rattlers team needs to keep its focus. Trandon Harvey's dropped a pass today. We saw earlier Rod Windsor drop a pass. You come out with the lead, and they go up just by 2 points. You got to remain to keep your focus. Guys, you got to come out. You've got this Milwaukee Iron team on the ropes. They're the #1 scoring offense in the entire AFL. Don't lose your focus. Make sure you catch that football.
Looks like almost another offsides against the Iron. People on the sidelines looking for Windsor. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down for the Rattlers.
Well, good job this time by your left tackle that time, Atlas Harrion, doing a good job. That time, you do see a jump by Kareem Smith. It looks like an offside, but coming over there, great job. John Booker. Again, this football up the field, out of bounds. A good throw. It would have been a tough catch along that side by Rod Windsor. But the key there, for a lot of you young quarterbacks, when you're throwing that football down the field, up the field, if your receiver can't get it, nobody can get it.
Big play right here, Dan. Rattlers trailing, 4th down from their own territory, over the middle, Trandon Harvey, but he's going to be shy of first down yardage. It looked like he caught it at midfield, and then he was taken down at the 24-yard line. Milwaukee will take over on downs.
Now, this is just a great play, coming up and making the tackle. This is just a deep dig route. Great pass protection by this offensive line. Davila finds him. Here's Harvey coming over. Tracy Belkey does a great tackle and preventing him from getting to the first down. Would have been very, very difficult for Trandon Harvey to catch that ball and get his shoulders up the field for the first down. Just shy of the first down. We look at Trandon Harvey's number, 3 receptions and 22 yards.
Great defense in the backfield by Anthony Ivey and also Tracy Belton on that defensive stand by Milwaukee, and that has to please their defensive coordinator, who is former Rattler Cedric Walker. Talked to Cedric before this game. His defense standing tall in the third quarter. First down for 4, so it might be just shy. This is going to be very close to a Milwaukee first down. As Cedric Walker, a.k.a. the Hitman, there he is, defensive coordinator in Milwaukee to the iron. He is part of the Rattlers Arena Bowl team that had that victory here against the Iowa Barnstormers, a teammate of Randy Gatewood, of course, Hunky Cooper, Sed Bonner, and kind of strange to see him leading the defense in Milwaukee.
Back in 1995, boy, Cedric Walker, what a phenomenal player he was. He was one of those guys that would get in your face and get in your grill if things weren't turning out right.
Trouble with the exchange, and Grayson went down. And you can see a fired-up Cedric Walker, and he was fired up as a DB for Arizona. Boy, they put the hits on Cedric Walker along with Cecil Doggett against Kurt Warner and the Iowa Barnstormers.
He was one of those guys that would just come up and make things happen on the defensive side. One of the sure tacklers, a big guy, played at about 225 pounds, 11 and a half tackles. He would make things happen. He's got that same intensity, and this team is picked up. He was with Green Bay in the AF2 as far as getting them at the sacks and the pressure and the aggressiveness.
He was just a ferocious hitter for Arizona's defense. Pushing off, trying to create some space and making the catch in the back of the end zone. They're going to say no. No reception, no touchdown for Nate Force. He used a show of force, shoving off the Rattler defender to create some space to try to make that grab.
And here's Nate Force. Here's a guy at 6'4", 220 pounds. Out of California, PA, coming down in a good. This is a good throw. Chris Bryson, right here, right in your living room. Good job of breaking this up, getting onto the inside as he comes on so many times. Is Riley Swanson.
On the offense, number 83.
We have offsetting penalties. But boy, that was awfully close in the back of the end zone for Nate Force. He already made a touchdown catch when he was sandwiched between 2 Rattler defenders. You can see the skills of Force.
In another game of over 100 yards, that makes it 8 out of the last 9 games of Nate Force. But again, Riley Swanson to come up underneath that and cause him to juggle that football. If he catches that, that's a touchdown because they're going to give it to him inside the end zone as he came down. So good job by Riley Swanson to come up with a huge play for the Rattlers.
11 penalties now for Milwaukee. Those end zone boards are out of bounds in arena play. Grayson fires a BB over to Force. He's going to be shy of a first down. It'll be 4th down and about 4 for the Iron.
Now we're starting to see that quick tempo, that quick passing game that Chris Bryson is so adept at. And that was made him his money in 2007-2008 when he threw for 208 touchdown passes over those 2 years. 104 touchdown passes. And Coach Bob Lanzi, there he is saying, hey, look, guys, we need you to step up here. This is huge. This is big time. 4th down. We need to hold serve against this Rattlers team.
Let's see how the Rattlers defense fares. 8:10 to go. Grayson, lots of time. Intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone by Riley Swanson. And another flag drops after the pick by Swanson.
Terrific defensive play. Riley Swanson does a phenomenal job of reading the eyes of Chris Bryson and also reading the route as he comes up underneath. Something very, very rare that you're ever going to see is Chris Bryson deliver the football late. Riley Swanson comes up on the play, got a post corner route. Bryson comes through it late, thinking he looks him off. The force is right there. Swanson reads the eyes of Chris Bryson, comes up underneath for a huge stop for the Arizona Rattlers.
And then a face mask call against Nate Force of Milwaukee, the most penalized team in the league. Milwaukee hit with another flag.
We talked about getting 2 stops in my keys today. Well, that's the 3rd stop that this Arizona Rattlers defense has. Now, the offense has got to capitalize and go down and get a touchdown.
The defensive genius, Kevin Guy, works so well with the offensive genius, Danny White, who's in charge of the Rattlers offense. They take over 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Man in motion, Rod Windsor going deep, looking for Windsor, hits the brakes. And a penalty flag, interference, will go against Milwaukee and Anthony Ivy.
Well, Anthony Ivy has no choice here but just to bring Windsor down. This ball is up in the air. Again, an underthrown football, but Windsor does a great job of coming back. But this all stops right here. Here comes Ivy. He knows he's beat, so he just basically grabs Windsor just to knock this football away and prevent Windsor from coming back on the big play. Good job by this Rattlers offense and Danny White to go ahead and start taking some shots down the field, start loosening up this secondary of the Milwaukee Iron.
So I guess of all the penalties incurred by the Iron, that was a smart one against Anthony Ivy, trying to prevent the deep pass.
And you like the percentage there. The Rattlers 5 out of 7 possessions. They scored 2 touchdowns. Milwaukee 5 for 8. There's those 3 stops. I just asked for 2. Hey, give me 3, give me 4 in order to get this game turned around and take control.
There's the new daddy, Nick Davila. The new baby boy, Moses. Said he was 8 pounds. It's a big boy. And he was there for the delivery with his wife, who was squeezing his hand so hard. I said, it wasn't your throwing hand. He said, yeah, initially it was that left hand, so he switched to the right. Davila, but he's picked off. Miscommunication with J.J. McKelvey. The pick is made. Tracy Belton with the interception.
Yeah, that's one of those situations there. That's that read route. And Nick Davila thought that McKelvey was going out. He just would continue to go up the field. There's that miscommunication on the field in reference to make it. So that's that stop. You can't have it yourself.
Second interception of the night for Tracy Belton. Milwaukee will take over, leading by 2.
Come on over to ACTV7 Cable 13. We've got news, talk, even crazy talk.
Sunshine. Please kiss me, Jeff.
Comedy. Funny you should mention that. LOL.
Punch freeze!
Every day. Every night. Come on over to ACTV7 Cable 13.
I'm Pat McMahon, and I'm here to tell you from first-hand experience how many unique and inexpensive items I've come across at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart. You, too, can shop fantastic. Over 500,000 brand-new items under one roof at the fantastic Indoor Swap Mart, located at 27th Avenue in Camelback in Phoenix. You'll find everything you need and want at incredibly low prices. Open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. What's it called? The fantastic Indoor Swap Mart.
Is there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or someone you love suffering from an addiction? Then it's time to do something about it. Calvary has been your addiction recovery solution for over 45 years.
It's an amazing experience.
Calvary saved my life.
Get help. Call Calvary Addiction Recovery Center at 866-76-SOBER before it's too late.
Nick Davila has thrown 2 interceptions, both taken away by that young man, Tracy Belton, who spent last year in AF2 with the Green Bay Blizzard. And their head coach, Bob Lancey,
basically just sits down on the route, sees this is just broken communication that they have with this interception.
Bryson going to the end zone. Pass was incomplete. A flag drops at the line of scrimmage.
And the call this complete?
They are.
Yeah,
I thought he juggled it in the end zone, so Tiger Jones did make the grab, and they're going to count it because the penalty will go against Arizona.
Just good pass protection and just fall over there again. Riley Swanson falls as he on the coverage, and there's Tiger Jones, bobbles it, comes down before he hits the line, and just like that, with the turnover, they come back as they did in the first half, that being Milwaukee, and taking advantage of the turnover and getting a huge break.
Boy, he bobbled it. I couldn't believe he reeled it in. Second touchdown catch for Tiger Jones. Grayson throws his 5th touchdown pass of the season. He now has 60. We told you about Grayson coming into this game, had thrown only 1 interception. He just threw one recently that was picked off by Riley Swanson. So now 60 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions thrown this season by Chris Grayson. Hey kids, join the Rattlers for a youth football clinic with Coach Kevin Guy and Danny White on Saturday, June 19th at U.S. Airways Center. Ages 5 to 17 are invited. Log on to azrattlers.com. The clinic goes from 1 to 4 p.m. The cost is just $30, and it includes a Rattlers t-shirt.
Well, one of the things, Tom, that this Milwaukee Iron team does is when you make a step, you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. That's the second interception with Tracy Belton that this Iron team came back and had a big play and went down and scored over the turnovers. So now what Nick Davila has to do is he's got to shake himself. He's thrown 2 big picks in this game where this Milwaukee Iron team has gone down and scored touchdowns. Not field goals, but touchdowns. So there's Kevin Guy just kind of wiping his eyes, and that's the nature of the game, as opposed to the Rattlers being up by 9 points. It's the Iron up by 9 points, 42-34.
And Dan, the Rattlers are really trying to sharpen up their edge here on their home field. I mentioned that they've lost 2 of 3 at home, and now trailing by 9.
Well, they've got the opportunity with 3 games in a row. This one, Oklahoma City next week, Bossier, Shreveport in 2 weeks. This is where you got to make your move in the division. This is where you got to make things happen on your home turf advantage.
8 of the 15 teams in the Arena Football League will make the playoffs. The top 4 division winners, along with the next top 2 records in each conference.
Well, and this is where you got to keep your poise. You're not going to get all 9 points back in one drive. And Danny White's been so good with handling quarterbacks over the years, with Cedric Bonner, with Aaron Garcia. By the way, Aaron Garcia, congratulations for breaking the all-time touchdown record of 932 last night for Jacksonville. Just go ahead and just continue to score and keep pace. You look at the standings. Here's Spokane 6-2, the Rattlers 4-3, and Utah 1-7. So there's still plenty of time to get back into this game and to make sure that you can get yourself in a position to win. Don't try to force the issue when you're down by 9.
Rattlers hitting the halfway point of the regular season after this game. You can see the importance of this game. If they are able to pull out a victory over Lansing and Milwaukee, they would be just 1 game behind Spokane. Meantime, this Milwaukee team, they could move to 7-2 if they upset the Rattlers here in Phoenix, and they would tie Jacksonville and Aaron Garcia with the best record in the league at 7-2. Spokane has a bye this week. Davila, his pass is caught by Trandon Harvey, spins free and down at the 20-yard line.
But Trandon Harvey's just so good on catching the football and spinning and getting that burst and making those moves. And
resulting play, first down.
And another offside against this Milwaukee Iron team. There's Bob Lanzi, the head coach, former Philadelphia Eagle lineman for several years. He's lost about 70 pounds over those years. One of those big offensive linemen for many, many years. But again, Robinson, he jumps offside. Look to the right to downside right in here. Again, with the snap count, Nick Davila doing a very good job for the 4th offside penalty on Milwaukee.
That reminds me of my good friend Ed Cunningham, who lost all that weight after his playing days in college and the NFL. McKelvey thought that he was shoved. Again, he went middle. Davila thought he was going toward the sideline. Little mix-up, and Davila goes over to Danny White to take the next play inside of 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Davila, one of the 4 newly named captains by Kevin Guy and this Rattlers team.
Here we go again. This is the second time in the last 2 possessions we've had miscommunication. This is a read route. Nick's thinking that McKelvey's going to go outside, but he goes inside. The play before the interception by Belton, he ran a post corner being McKelvey. and what Nick thought he was going to sit it down. So there's some miscommunication with the read route that's going on. I would settle him down and give him some sign to set plays.
Davila sets his feet, finds Windsor, back pedals, and pushed back by Ivy. They will mark it at the 14-yard line.
One of the things that Danny White said that Nick Davila has struggled with early on in the season are the read routes. But the other thing he has, he's starting to react to what he sees. They've got the entire playbook in, but they're having different variations, different motions, different sets of the same play. So when you see your quarterback receivers not on the same page, you basically have to call assigned plays, get rid of the read route, release a few plays.
Davila, two-step drop, again looking for Windsor, who was not looking in the direction of Davila in that pass.
Well, this is the third play again. Windsor does a stop and go. Davila thinks he's going to run the stop. Again, coming to your right side of the screen. There's the throw. He throws the stop route. Rod Windsor goes up the field. So something is amiss with the passing game right now. Danny White is just shaking his head. Either the receivers or the quarterback. He needs to get this straightened up because they cannot afford not to score on this drive.
They just aren't clicking, and Danny White saying they've really been building chemistry offensively over the last couple of weeks. Davila, and he finds McKelvey for the touchdown. Forget about all those incompletions. When it's money time, Davila right on the money to J.J. McKelvey.
And that's how you shake yourself as a quarterback. You got McKelvey on the inside, just a quick seam route we like to call. Davila just gives it to him right now. So talk about getting confidence back into your quarterback. This is what you have to do. Danny simplified this. He looks to his left and comes right back down the center. You got a zone coverage, that time coverage coming on the other side by Carlton Brown. Good job of shaking off those three errant throws by Nick Davila.
Scottia, his first game in the Arena Football League last week in Utah, went 11 of 12, point after, and he softly pokes it through. You can see what a strong leg he has, and he just barely follows through on that point after.
This Arizona Rattlers team, they needed that score. They needed that. J.J. McKelvey catches the football, does a good job of securing it. The Rattlers within range now, down by 2, 43-41. The Rattlers looking to strike the rest of the game.
Elevate your night, elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
Your attention, please. Goodbye Auto Auction is auctioning off high-quality used automobiles and trucks. Every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., Goodbye Auto Auction offers you an opportunity to bid on a huge inventory of well-conditioned automobiles. Bidding starts as low as $300. The gates open at 8. Auction starts at 9. Goodbye Auto Auction is located at 2956 West Osborne. For more information, call 602-523-3339. Remember, it's every Wednesday at Goodbye Auto Auction.
On the next morning, a young teen mom.
When I told him I was pregnant, that was the last time I saw him.
A denying guy and an enraged grandma.
He lied to you. He tricked you, baby. He just stole your virginity.
Does JB really have 30 children? These two moms put him to the test and get shocking results. Plus, Nelmar goes head-to-head with two angry moms. Explosive DNA stories on the next morning.
Monday at 2 on AZTV7, Cable 13.
Arizona pulling to within 2 of Milwaukee, 43-41. Randy Gatewood down on the field with offensive coordinator Danny White.
Coach White, down here on the field. Offense, wide receivers and the quarterback seems to be a little bit out of sync tonight. Can you elaborate for us? Well, we've had a couple last series. You know, the interception was a read route. They blew the coverage. I mean, two guys played zone, one guy played man. The receiver read man-to-man, the quarterback read zone. And when that happens, you look pretty foolish. That's the problem with a read route. And then the last play, you know, we had a takeoff route, and Rod read one thing. But you're right. Last couple of series, we struggled with that. We're okay now, though. We got it back. Okay. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Tom.
Carlton Brown is pummeled at the 8-yard line. All right, Manuch, Randy Gatewood was talking to Danny White about some of these miscues.
Well, here you go. The read route. You got Davila going outside, and McKelvey's going inside. Again, you got a stop-and-go route. Well, Davila thinks he's stopping, and Windsor's going with the go route. That's exactly what he's talking about. You had a read route. You had miscommunication. Danny White says he's going to get it figured out. So that's one of the things you have to. Fortunately, in 5 plays and 40 yards, you got the 14-yard touchdown catch by J.J. McKelvey. You get the 7 points, and you keep yourself within earshot.
And as always, that scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. Bryson at the helm for the Iron. The veteran lofts it up, looking for Harrell, who makes the grab at the 10-yard line. Damian Harrell, one of the all-time greats in Arena Football League history, still going strong at the age of 34.
Well, this is just a great catch. 21 covering 21. And Damian Harrell, good pass protection. Chris Bryson lays this football right out in front. What you didn't see there is Riley Swanson had his right arm pinned. Harrell breaks his arm free, goes out and catches. But again, a great throw by Chris Bryson to put that football where only one individual can catch it, your receiver. If he can't catch it, nobody gets that football.
Damian Harrell, just the 9th player in professional football to catch over 1,000 passes. The all-time leader is Jerry Rice, who, of course, played for the 49ers. Wrapped up and smothered Tyree Young.
Tyree Young comes up in there. Alex Guerrero reading and recognizing the play along with Darryl Shropshire. Boy, Darryl Shropshire, him going to Mac Factor, 301 pounds, 6'1", former defensive lineman, played for the Atlanta Falcons for a couple of years, has really helped not only the pass rush for this Arizona Rattlers team, but their run defense as far as allowing Ron Jones and Alex Guerrero to come and somewhat clean up the pile, if you will, on any kind of run play.
You know, I loved it, too, with Danny White, the offensive coordinator, heaping praise on the defense of the Rattlers, signaling Shropshire, Ontaj Hawthorne for their added pressure over the last couple of weeks. Pitch play to Tiger Jones, and he lunges forward to about the 2-yard line.
Well, now we're starting to see that the full arsenal of the Milwaukee Iron team is offensive coordinator Mark Stouty is doing a very good job of starting to mix it up. And you talk about offensive coordinators keeping the defenses off balance. Both these offensive coordinators, Danny White, who's in the AFL Hall of Fame, and then Stouty, who's done a great job wherever he's at, are keeping these defenses off balance. And I got to tell you what, this 4th quarter, Tom Leander, put your seatbelt on and put your hands at 10-2. We got a good one over here at the Snake Pit.
Rattlers led 34-30 at halftime. Milwaukee took their first lead in that 3rd quarter, still on top by 2. 4th quarter coming your way. Rattlers Saturday night on AZTV.
When I start my day off right, I always feel better. So when I decided to cut back on expenses, my gym membership stayed, and the morning lattes, first to go. But even in tough times, you can't cut back on necessities, like health insurance. Good thing Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona just introduced new health plans that start at under $59 per month. So now I can stay healthy and still watch every penny. To find out more, call your broker, call 877-317-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/rates.
The 2-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their 3rd arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a fight. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Elevate your everyday. Elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
Summer means one thing. The return of Wallace and Ladmo to AZTV. Whether it's your first time.
Wallace and who?
Or the 100th time.
Absolutely the funniest guys ever.
You'll laugh along with Wallace and Ladmo. Saturdays at 6 on AZTV 7 Cable 13. Of course, Latmo bags will be given away, so log on to aztv.com and enter to win. Brought to you by our friends at Hickman's Family Farms, the AZ Funnies, Cliff Castle Casino, Beams, and Villa Pallavicini.
Might sound familiar, but Milwaukee with their ironclad guarantee coming into the season for their fans, guaranteeing a playoff berth. Rattlers did that a couple of years ago, and Milwaukee certainly on their way with a 6-2 record and a 2-point lead. Beginning of the fourth quarter, pass is caught against the boards. They signal touchdown. I talked to head coach Kevin Guy. There's a big controversy and argument over the use of those end zone boards. Many officials consider them to be out of bounds, but Force was able to make the grab, and they're going to give him the 6.
Well, I always figured that if you catch that football up against it, you're going to get the touchdown. This is just a great throw. Puts it high into the outside. I think the official looked at the left foot that he had come down, and Nate Force came down before he hugged the dasher board, or it was simultaneous. A lot of times the official, he sees the foot down in front of the line against the boards, they're going to give it to you.
Regardless, a gorgeous pass from Chris Bryson. Forston knocks it through with the extra point.
Well, just like that, Tom Leander, here comes the ironclad drive that they had coming down the field. Nice little pass protection, great catch by Force. They take the lead 50-41 over the Rattlers.
Make you even sicker. That's why you...
No matter where you ride, what you ride, or who you ride with, you can count on the Law Tigers. We created a free valuable benefit card that motorcyclists can't afford to be without. Free legal advice, a $10,000 hit and run reward, a 24-hour accident hotline, but most importantly, peace of mind. Designed by riders for riders, the Law Tigers Biker Benefit Card. Available at your favorite motorcycle shop or online at lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Arizona's injury lawyers who ride.
Elevate your night, elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
Today, with the economy the way it is, if you get sick, the bills can make you even sicker. That's why you want to call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. They will tell you about their new health plans and help you choose the one that's right for you and your family. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona has introduced new and more affordable health insurance plans. So don't wait. Call your broker or call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona now to get the facts. To learn more, call your broker, call 866-691-BLUE, or visit AZ.
The one-time Arizona Cardinal, Chris Bryson, with his 6th touchdown pass of the game. Milwaukee on top by 9. Timeout for the First Credit Union. Kick to win. Tonight's contestant is Shay Hansen. Just moments ago, a chance to win $25,000 from First Credit Union. But this is tough. Boy, she's got to try to kick a 33-yard field goal from midfield.
Are we eligible for this? I mean, you look at this. Shay comes up, gives it a nice little boot. Not bad, but how do we become eligible for $25,000 for the First Credit Union field goal kick to win?
Become eligible. I don't know if we really want to see Dan Minucci attempt a 33-yard field goal with the pipes only 9 feet apart.
You know what? I did have some athletic ability many, many years ago. Could I throw it? I think I could still throw from that 50-yard line throw, but I have to take it for rotator cuff surgery after I do that.
You're going to join Doug Plank in line for more titanium, more knee, shoulder replacements. It was great having Doug Plank up here at the booth there in the second quarter. Davila and the Rattlers offense. Maybe a must-score opportunity. Fires it over to Ron Winter. Dan, you were talking about, too, the fact right now Milwaukee leading by 9 points. It's much tougher to overcome a 9-point disadvantage than an 8-point.
Well, it really is, and that's that 9-point spread. That's that odd spread. Even though the Rattlers get to 50-48 here, they continue to score that 7 points. You're always going to see that 9-point spread, that 10-point spread. So they have to score from here on out because you know the way Milwaukee is performing on offense, the number 1 offense in the league, that Nick Davila has got to counter Chris Bryson each and every time. They cannot afford to stop themselves.
Again, it looks like Kareem Smith jumped off sides. The pass is complete. It's enough for a Rattler first down. Windsor is wrapped up at the 22. Boy, we've seen this all night long. Kareem Smith trying to anticipate the count. There he is. That has to be what, number 4?
I believe that's number 4. I think that is number 4. Kareem Smith, that's number 3 on him. But again, good job. I think Davila doing a great job of holding the count. And Kareem Smith going, well, maybe the Rattlers forgot about me jumping the gun on that receiver in motion. Well, no, they've been game planning for you for last week. So Nick Davila doing a very good job. A very simple passing game for Nick Davila and this Arizona Rattlers team in one Rod Windsor. Your go-to guys of Harvey, McKelvey, and Windsor have got to step up here in this fourth quarter.
Each team with 3 possessions that did not result in a touchdown. So typical Arena football, Davila hanging on to it at the last second, and he is pounded by Zarnell Fitch.
Now, we've seen a lot of poundings on Nick Davila the entire game. Fitch comes across right to your right side again. Now, this time it's the blind side. Nick Davila, again, good coverage down the field by the Irons. They just sit back. We've got to get rid of that football. He's got to get rid of that football a little bit earlier. That would have been a sack. That would have been on one Nick Davila that time. But Zarnell Fitch, a big fella, 6'3", 323 pounds. Hey, TCU Horned Frog, home of many folks coming down a while. When Dave McGinnis, to mention just a few. And how about that fine running back out of San Diego that's got the New York Jets on top of everything?
The pass is complete. Davila finding J.J. McKelvey. And he gets him in the end zone. Rattlers 6-pack.
Well, that's what you want, that big play. J.J. McKelvey sits it down this time. Good pass protection. Nick Davila does a good job of reading it. This is a read route. He had zone coverage. You saw him backed off. McKelvey does a good job of reading it. That's why they call it that read route. Davila puts it right on the money. Nice spin move to get up the middle for the score. That running back, by the way, LaDainian Tomlinson.
No longer
jog your memory.
There you go. Yes, you mentioned he has moved on. Was it New York? New York Jets. The Jets coming up this season. Trying to make it a 2-point game. They pitch the snap over to Billy Ferris, the backup quarterback, trying to sneak in for 2. He comes up a yard short. Another trick play. Rattlers trying to go for the 2-point conversion. It is a 3-point game here in the fourth quarter from U.S. Airways Center. Davila to J.J. McKelvey, the veteran, scooting in for the score. Back on AZTV right after this.
The 2-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Every mile, every curl, every stretch takes pushing your body to that next level where refining meets redefining and the transformation begins. That next level is here. Are you ready for the challenge? $0 to join, $19 a month. Pure Fitness. It's for everybody.
When I start my day off right, I always feel better. So when I decided to cut back on expenses, my gym membership stayed, and the morning lattes, first to go. But even in tough times,
You can't cut back on necessities, like health insurance.
good thing Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona just introduced new health plans that start at under $59 per month. So now I can stay healthy and still watch every penny. To find out more, call your broker, call 877-317-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/rates.
Head coach Kevin Guy and the Rattlers down by 3. J.J. McKelvey just picked up his third touchdown of the night. The scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. Nick Davila has thrown 5 touchdown passes, does have the 2 interceptions. Davila 25 of 37 for 280 yards. Scaccia with the boot. And again, catches the railing, and they'll mark it at the 5-yard line.
You know, we talked about 2-point conversions was needed here. Well, this is the second 2-point conversion failure that the Rattlers have had. So all of a sudden, you get that. It's 50-49. If Milwaukee goes down, scores, it's 57-49. You can get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to get within earshot, at least try to tie it up if you get a stop. Now, as opposed to a 9-point lead, they go up. It's going to be a 10-point lead if they get a score here, make it 57-47. So at some point in time, the Rattlers need to get a stop and get a 2-point conversion at some point in time, because as you get stopped by this iron defense, it spreads the league out. It doesn't give you a shot to try to win it with an onside kick or 2-point conversion.
And this is one of the quarterbacks in the league that is the most difficult to stop. His pass to Damian Harrell deep into Arizona territory, finally wrapped up by Riley Swanson. We've seen a different Harrell in the second half.
Well, Damian Harrell was chomping at the bit at the very end of the first half. Now when you need him to get involved, you go to the wily veteran, one of the greatest of all times in the Arena Football League, and you get excellent pass protection. We talked about it all night. Chris Bryson, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in AFL history. 67% with the Georgia Force, 70%. That's tough to stop there when you put that ball up there. And notice as Damian Harrell goes up at the highest point to catch that football, so the DB doesn't have a chance to break it up.
And the strategy defensively for Arizona, try to mix it up against Bryson, be a little more aggressive, in-your-face defense, to try to bang their receivers that are in motion at the line of scrimmage.
Well, what you see now is offensive coordinator Mark Stouty starting to go with the quick passing game, the long passing game. He's got his full arsenal. He'll start to run it a little bit, try to get guys to the outside. This is where the Rattlers defense has got to come up big with some kind of interception. Very difficult to do when you see the inside-outside combination of Force and Harrell on the outside.
Gaudy numbers for Damian Harrell, two-time AFL Offensive Player of the Year in Colorado. The pass is complete. Another touchdown pass to Tiger Jones. Anthony Tiger Jones, the 28-year-old, takes in the 7th touchdown pass of the night from Chris Bryson.
This is just an excellent job of quarterback and receiver understanding. Tiger Jones does a good job of getting to the outside. He presses hard on the inside to make a nice press on Terrence Sanders. He knows exactly where he's going. Terrence Sanders plays it on the inside. Jones sees him there. He basically pushes off, but the officials aren't going to call that down in the end zone.
Helping to silence the crowd as the Rattlers return home after 2 road wins. Started a 3-game homestand. Forstrom with the kick. Good to go. And the lead for Milwaukee is now 10. 57-47. The Iron going after their 7th win of the season. Trying to make it 7-2. Rattler fans very concerned here in the 4th.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
Elevate your everyday. Elevate your game. Casino, Arizona.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their 3rd arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Biggest lead of the night for the Milwaukee Iron, leading Arizona by 10. Next Friday night, Arizona Rattlers host the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs here at U.S. Airways Center. Good seats available for just $10. Order your tickets at 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com. Tom Maynard back with Dan Minucci. Rattlers need a score and then either a turnover, or they're going to have to turn to an onside kick at some point here in the fourth quarter, because you really can't wait for Chris Bryson to make a mistake with his iron offense.
Well, you're down by 10 points at some point. If you don't get the stop, you're going to have to force the issue. And the Rattlers have tried one onside kick already. They've tried 2 extra point conversions and got failed on both those 2-point conversions.
Brandon Harvey slammed down at the 2-yard line. Katie Hartley with a passionate Rattlers fan.
That's right, you guys. I'm here with my friend Peanut. So, Peanut, how long you been coming to games?
Since the very first year. Ben jumped on the bandwagon and haven't gotten off since.
Right on. What's your favorite part of coming to games?
You know, just the fan interaction. You can catch a football. You can yell at the opposing players and coaches.
Yeah, I saw you doing that.
Slapping someone, giving them a high five, you know. Right up there, right with you. You can't get better value for your money.
Right on. We're happy to have you here, Peanut. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Katie. Got 2 of my boys here at the game. See them there, nice seats, enjoying this. The U.S. Airways Center. They've been to many Rattler games and always enjoy it because, Dan, you know, this is very family friendly. You come here and it's high scoring, a lot of action on the field, a lot of activities during timeouts and at halftime. My kids love it. And this youngster, maybe he had a little too much activity.
How do you sleep with all the noise here in the Snake Pit? But I will say this, Peanut had one Tyus Jackson going round and round in the warm-ups. Not that Peanut would get anybody excited or anything.
From his own end zone, Davila finds Trandon Harvey slammed down for a gain of about 5 yards.
Well, you just have to move the football down the field. We saw the very first play, Rod Windsor, the throw slightly behind him by Nick Davila, but you've got to make that catch. That's 3 catches we've seen drop, very uncharacteristic of this Rattlers offense. And when you play a team, a high-scoring team that's scoring 65 points per game on average and being the Milwaukee Iron, you have to almost play a perfect game. You've got to catch everything. You've got to make the plays. You've got to go down the field. And when you drop passes, that's going to eventually add up at the end of the game.
Harvey is critical to the success of the Arizona Rattlers. He missed 4 games with a hamstring injury. Springs free to the 20-yard line for a first down for Arizona. So he misses 4 games with that hamstring injury. He returns last week against the Utah Blaze and put up some impressive numbers. 8 catches, 140 yards, and a pair of touchdowns for the 27-year-old Trandon Harvey out of Washington State.
Well, his timing was great coming back because Anthony Mix, who was having a great season, blew out his knee, complete total knee reconstruction he's going to be having. He had the anterior, the posterior. Anthony Mix, big guy, 6'6", 240 pounds, was really the talk of the town in the entire Arena Football League for his receiving.
Pass complete over the middle. J.J. McKelvey dives forward for another Arizona first down. Chipping away with 6:34 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
Well, the Rattlers, they've got to go make it happen. And I think this receiving corps understands, this offensive line understands that they've got to get Nick Davila the opportunity to throw the football down the field with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to have any kind of a shot at winning this football game. At some particular point in time, you got to score quickly. You got to make sure that you keep things in bounds, and you make sure, first and foremost, you got to protect that quarterback, Tom.
And make smart decisions if you're Nick Davila. Had a couple of interceptions. Takes the snap. Good protection. And his toss intended for Rod Windsor. Broken up. 3 defenders in the area for Milwaukee.
Well, you had Nick Davila throwing into the zone that time. You had combination coverage to the outside. If he'd have waited just a little bit longer, he'd have Trandon Harvey coming up underneath to make a throw. He was wide open.
They're going to replay first down, as now they push it back to the 24-yard line for the Arizona Rattlers. 5:52 left to go here in the fourth. Davila, it's just been an up-and-down night. It just never seems like he's been able to create that rhythm and confidence in this game, but when it's come time on a third or a fourth down play, he's made the critical passes.
He just has to continue to let the game come to himself. Don't force the issue. If you force the issue now, it'd be game, set, match against Milwaukee.
Davila flushed out of the pocket, a screen play, and it's caught by Brennan Carvalho. And he rumbles up ahead, and he is hurt down at the 5-yard line. He is clutching, it appears, his right leg. Brennan Carvalho takes in the screen pass from Nick Davila, rolls all the way to the 5-yard line of Milwaukee, but he is still down on the turf.
And he's the eligible receiver on this side. Good call by Danny White, just a tight end screen. He's done this for many, many years. He just comes back, looks down the field. Nice little touch here. Carvalho just comes to the outside, gets a nice little kick-out block that time with the big guy coming down the field. And he gets to the outside. Looks like he might have strained his calf muscle that time as he gets down the field. So John Booker helping him and escorting him down the field. But Carvalho showing some good speed. The big fella at 325 pounds going down the field.
Yeah, that's a lot of beef heading down the field. When you talk about Carvalho and Booker, Carvalho is still down. He's being attended to, and we'll take a break here in the fourth quarter with the Rattlers down by 10.
Elevate your night, elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
$30. Of course, batteries are extra. Very nice. You really do a good job, Klinger. Well, I'm not just another pretty face.
Wake up feeling this good. They have to work at it. Your body needs 75 to 90 milligrams per day of vitamin C, which is found in citrus fruits, bell peppers, strawberries, and broccoli. This healthy living tip is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Log on to azblue.com/rattlers for more information on new, more affordable health insurance plans that meet your needs. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Katie. Pass tipped away in the end zone. Davila looking for J.J. McKelvey. It was first and goal from the 5-yard line after that 21-yard screen play to Brennan Carvalho. Carvalho had to be helped off the field toward the Rattler bench. It is a leg injury, and doubtful that we'll see Carvalho the rest of the way. Randy Gatewood on the prowl in that Rattler bench area to try to find out exactly what happened to Carvalho. Second down now for Davila. Quick drop, fires corner of the end zone, touchdown to J.J. McKelvey.
Boy, this is just great timing and great throw again by Nick Davila. He does a phenomenal job. Nice little post corner. McKelvey does a nice jab move to the inside, breaks it to the outside, and this ball is right there as soon as he turns around. So J.J. McKelvey starting to get in the flow of the game. Nick Davila, here you go. He presses the corner to the outside, turns around. That football is out there way away from the defender on that. Coming upside is Carlton Brown, who can't get a hold of it. Well, you got a big target like that, Tom. You lean it outside. He's got those long arms. He can get those hands out there and drag his feet in, and does exactly that for the touchdown.
Scotcha knocks it through to the point after for Nick Davila. 6th touchdown pass of the night. 4 to J.J. McKelvey. Randy Gatewood with an update.
Counter on the field, guys. Got some information on Brennan Carvalho. Seems to be just a mild ankle sprain. It looks like he could possibly return, but they're not sure yet. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Randy. Looked pretty severe as he left the field. It took after the 21-yard screen pass that helped set up the touchdown pass to McKelvey.
Well, good timing this time as well, too. And coming down the field, the big fella, number 59, gets down in there to get a nice block. Also had Booker get down there. But right there, he just makes a play. Looks like his ankle was rolled over as he comes down. But big fella, 323 pounds. It looks like on the tackle, it looked like the defender rolled his ankle as he was coming down on top of him.
Another Blue Cross Blue Shield scoring drive for the Arizona Rattlers. 6 plays, 47 yards. Big night for J.J. McKelvey. Well, 11 receptions for McKelvey in those 4 touchdowns.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to this offensive line. One of the guys I wanted to feature is Kyle Young. And Kyle Young and all the things that he's done. Kevin Guy going, okay, guys, this is time for you to step up. But this offensive line has made the impression to this entire staff that they can hold off these guys that had 10 sacks coming in here today and just making sure that they give McDonald the time to throw the football.
Now you said be prepared for the onside kick. Here it is. It's fielded, though, by Ivy. And down he goes at the 7-yard line. You said the Rattlers have to try to make up this deficit. They score the touchdown. They're still down 3. They can't rely on Bryson to make a mistake or turn the ball over. They go for the onside kick, but it's recovered by the Iron.
Yeah, that's the key right there, too. If they get that onside kick, they've got to come on down. You're down by 3. All of a sudden, you get Chris Grice going in for a touchdown, you're down by 10. So we talked about being down by 8, being down by 9, and as you fail to get those 2-point conversions, as you fail to get those scores, the lead for Milwaukee starts to expand and makes it nearly impossible, unless you get a 2-point conversion or an onside kick, to settle or cut that score down.
When you talk about Bryson, you talk about the most accurate passer in AFL history. 70% in his career. He falls over backwards and then throws away. Intercepted by Arizona along the sidelines and in the end zone by Brandon Freeman. Boy, just when you thought Bryson wouldn't make that mental mistake, a huge blunder from his back. For some reason, he still threw it toward the end zone. It was picked off by Brandon Freeman.
That's one of the things I would never expect from one Chris Bryson. He gets stepped on by his center. He's pretty much down. He's trying to throw this football away to the outside to Tiger Jones. But from the backside, he falls, he steps, he sees Tiger Jones coming along the right side. You can't make that play. Brandon Freeman. Guys, is that the stop? Is that the turnaround for the Arizona Rattlers to get him back in this game?
I can't believe what I just saw. I can't believe Bryson, who makes such great decisions during the course of a game, would throw his second interception. Remember, he had only 1 interception coming into this game after the first 8 contests for Milwaukee. Windsor tripped up around the 11-yard line. 2:30 and counting.
Well, what Danny wants to do now is get the quick passing game going, allows receiving corps to make a play. That time Windsor comes across, almost breaks a couple of tackles. If he comes back underneath and Anthony Ivy doesn't bring him down, he might break that one and go all the way. But Danny White getting into a rhythm, getting into a quick passing game. With 2 minutes left in this game, he knows he's got to score pretty quick here.
Rattlers trying to take advantage of that gift from Bryson. The catch is made by McKelvey, adding to his totals. It's now his 12th reception.
You just wonder, Danny White, he's got that savvy quarterback. He's a former great quarterback for ASU, for Dallas Cowboys. At one point in time, when he throw that stop and go, that gadget play, that trick play, to get that defense to come up and allow either Windsor or McKelvey to get down the field on a go route or a hitch and go.
And now you start thinking about milking the clock a little bit with Arizona in possession. Davila wide open, McKelvey. McKelvey dancing, taking his time going into the end zone. I think he was trying to take some time off the clock, but he gives Arizona the lead here with 1:20 to go in the 4th.
This is an absolutely great move. You have the corner to the safety come up and try to make the play, try to be aggressive. We talked about how Milwaukee is a very aggressive defensive back. Nick Divila's got him so wide open, he almost underthrows McKelvey. And again, you said it, McKelvey trying to use up a little bit of clock. Coming over there, number 6, Tracy Felton, almost gets there in time. And would that have been a disaster if McKelvey didn't see Felton coming from the backside and fumbling that football? But very wise by McKelvey to eat a couple extra seconds. There's the break. There's the stop. The 4th stop against the Milwaukee Iron in order to get it, and the Rattlers take advantage of it.
You're right. It looked like showboating initially by J.J. McKelvey, but he pulled a Hunky Cooper. I saw Hunky do that one time where he had a kickoff return. Seconds were dwindling down for the Arizona Rattlers in the game, and he looked up. He saw that there was still 4 or 3 seconds left to go in the game, so he danced around until the clock read 00, and the Rattlers had the victory. You don't want to leave any time on the clock here in the Arena League.
Well, head coach Bob Lancey for this Milwaukee Iron team telling his guys, hey, heads up for the 2-point conversion. I think right now you just need to get the extra point, get into a situation where you make it 61-57. You've got the lead. You got a 4-point lead. You force the issue with the Milwaukee Iron now.
You see McKelvey explaining to Danny White exactly why he was taking his time going into the end zone, and Danny said, hey, that looked like a pretty smart decision. The extra point, though, is missed by Scaccia. who's been so good his first 2 games for the Arizona Rattlers. Will that be a miss that could come back to haunt the Arizona Rattlers exactly a minute to go here in the fourth? But it's the home team back on top. The touchdown catch by J.J. McKelvey. 3-point lead for Arizona. Back on it. AZTV after this.
Today, with the economy the way it is, if you get sick, the bills can make you even sicker. That's why you want to call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. They will tell you about their new health plans and help you choose the one that's right for you and your family. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona has introduced new and more affordable health insurance plans. So don't wait. Call your broker or call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona now to get the facts. To learn more, call your broker, call 866-691-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/TV.
Elevate your everyday. Elevate your game. Casino Arizona.
On the next George Lopez,
we're half brothers.
Lou Diamond Phillips guest stars.
Do you know what this means?
That your father never learned how to use a condom.
As the sibling Benny kept secret.
Have you ever in your life told me one thing that was true? Are you my mother? Are you even a woman? Because there's been talk and I'm getting tired of defending you.
Time to catch up.
Dad wasn't exactly a good guy. Compared to what? I was raised by Joan Crawford.
And count blessings.
Now I know why Dad named our dog Benny.
Next George Lopez.
Monday at 8 on AZTV7, Cable 13.
16 touchdown passes for Nick Davila over the last 2 weeks for Arizona. They're leading by 3. Scoring drive brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arizona. 3-point lead for Arizona, Dan, but they missed that extra point attempt. Scaccia in critical times, and last possession, Chris Bryson, he can't wait to get his hands on the football after he threw that interception from his backside.
Well, after this kickoff, I'm going to explain the math on why that was so important. You needed to make that extra point.
Another onside kick. Picked up by Milwaukee. So a lot of strategy now going on here between Kevin Guy and Bob Lancey.
You know, if they make that extra point, 61-57, all of a sudden it's a 4-point lead for the Rattlers. And if Milwaukee scores, all of a sudden you get 64-61. So basically, if you get stopped, you kick the field goal, you tie it up. You're always within tying it up. You're always within range to going ahead by at least 4 points. Now, you get a situation, it's all of a sudden it's 64-60. You're forced to score a touchdown. So you get into that whole math situation, you get yourself out of sorts. You're never a field goal away. You're 4 points away. Forces your offense to have to score a touchdown if you get down.
And really, the bottom line in arena football in a close game, you want to be the team that has the football at the end and a chance to win. The pass into the end zone, and it falls incomplete, looking for Damian Harrell.
Now, the other thing, too, is if you're down by 4 and you're desperate, you can have a drop kick. A drop kick is worth 4 points in the Arena Football League. So, I mean, you're not completely out of it, but you got to have a drop kick and get those 4 points. As Bob Lancey, the head coach of Milwaukee, is going to look, guys, we need to score. This is where this defense, now the snake pit's starting to come alive here at U.S. Airways Center to get these guys unraveled. This is where you make that opportunity to put that pressure on Chris Bryson, who hasn't seen much pressure the entire night.
He's looking for a time of atonement now. After throwing that last interception, his second of the night. That was defenders switching off. There was some confusion, and Harrell spins to the 4-yard line. Well, you could see that happening when it's Freeman along with Riley Swanson. They were trying to communicate to each other and to determine who's covering who.
Riley Swanson, we talked about the aggressiveness. He comes up, but Freeman's got to get to the outside. Damian Harrell is wide open. That's a blown coverage, so you have to get to the outside. We saw that a little bit earlier in the first quarter as well, too. The aggressiveness of Freeman coming over and making a play, had a touchdown pass on him, and that getting to the outside when you see the inside-outside moves by these receivers of Milwaukee.
Bryson looking up at the clock, ever so important. Try to utilize those final seconds in the fourth quarter. They're a yard shy of a first down. It'll be... They have second down on the scoreboard for Milwaukee. And the sideline marker says third down. is 3rd down and 1 for Bryson and Milwaukee. Terrell in motion, the give, and ripped out of the pack. One had it. Arizona rips it out of there. I believe it was Alex Guerrero. But it is recovered by Milwaukee. But a big, strong mitts of Alex Guerrero almost forcing the turnover.
Well, the big fella has not run the football much. I think he's got 3 rushes. So Tyree Young, the big guy, look at Guerrero right there. He sees the football and just rips it out of there. But trying to come over there is Daryl Shropshire. Almost pounces on it. Jones, astute to get back on the football. Tiger Jones from his receiver position comes back in. What would have been a huge play of the Rattlers on 4th down. Call a timeout to stop the clock.
Oh, it will be 4th down. Boy, that would have been something else if Guerrero would have forced that fumble and Arizona could have fallen on it. Instead, the Iron have it with 34 seconds to go, trailing by 3. That's when you want a cool and composed quarterback like Chris Bryson, who really has been around. You talked about his journey here to the Arena Football League, playing with the Arizona Cardinals. He was with the Dallas Desperados. He still plays in the UFL and will return to Florida in August. All sorts of experience and confidence as he leads his offense toward this 4th down play.
And they don't have to score a touchdown. They can still get a 1st down here, and I think that's one of the things they're going to focus on. Just get the 1st down and keep the clock going.
Terrell on the fly. Bryson into the end zone. The pass is tipped away, incomplete, and then intercepted by Kelvin Morris. The play was made by Brandon Freeman in the corner of the end zone.
What a huge, huge play, forcing Chris Bryson to throw this football high on the outside. Morris comes over there and gets the tip off the iron and makes the interception. It's a phenomenal play by this defense, forcing the great coverage to the outside to have to be a perfect throw. Just a great throw. You'll see Chris Bryson backs up, looks right, looks left. He throws this football high into the outside to force. Coming over just to make that great play is Freeman to get his hand up there just to tip the football toward the net. And there's Mr. Johnny on the spot, Kelvin Morris, to make the interception. All the Rattlers have to do now is just kill the clock and force this one for a Rattlers victory. Not going to say Rattlers victory with 25 seconds to go, but just a great job by Freeman, who's been burned twice, to come up with a big play on the tip football.
Rattlers will need positive yardage to roll that clock. If I would have told you, Dan Minucci, that Bryson would throw 3 picks tonight before the start of this game, when he came in with 55 touchdown passes and only 1 interception, you would have said,
I'd have said you got a Planet Orange hangover. Wash that out of your system, and we've got the Arizona Rattlers in this snake pit coming alive.
And what a meaningful victory this could be for Arizona. If they would have lost, or if they do lose here at home, they'll fall to 1-3. They need to hang on to the football, gain the positive yardage, and try to seal the deal here with just 25 seconds left to go.
I've never seen a celebration penalty in the Arena Football League, but if you're going to get one, that's a great time to get it. But again, you've got to get positive yardage in order to keep the clock rolling.
Bryson, 7 touchdown passes with 3 interceptions, has thrown for 356 yards. Davila gets that positive yardage, so the clock will continue and will force Milwaukee to burn a timeout.
Johnny Curtin giving him a little extra love at fullback, kind of pushing him along there. Shades of Reggie Bush with Matt Leonard, Notre Dame a few short years ago. Chris Bryson, what a phenomenal year he's having, but this Rattlers defense, they were fired up. Kevin Guy, talking to him on Wednesday and talking to Danny White on Friday, this team started to come together. They now have 4 captains. They're starting to gel. They're having a team party get-together to bring everybody together. And on top of that, the week off that they had an accountability factor. And one of the things that Kevin Guy said is, without me saying it, we had guys that needed to step up. We got rid of some of the dead weight. I didn't have to say much for this team to come together. And they've done that with the 4 captains, the team-building parties, and these guys understanding, you know what, guys, you can be a pretty good team if you just understand it and start acting like it.
Right, had a Memorial Day barbecue, their first team bonding day out. Hand off to Johnny Curtin, lunges forward. And again, Milwaukee will try to stop the clock. They'll have to utilize another timeout with now 15 seconds to go.
One of the other things I really felt with that week off that Danny White and Kevin Guy both talked about is just making sure guys understand what's going on for the entire game, and knowing in the Arena Football League, you're never out of the game. Without that huge interception by Freeman, you know this Milwaukee Iron team could have put the game out of reach. They basically put the game out of reach, but you can say that about the Arizona Rattlers in the first half as well too. They were up 20-6 at one time in this game. They could have put game, set, match, but just the consistency that they've had, they just held serve and held their poise.
Milwaukee has just one timeout remaining. Great point. Boy, Arizona had that early lead, and Milwaukee was up by 10. Bryson with a couple of mistakes. That last play, though, in the corner of the end zone defensively by Brandon Freeman, resulting in the interception by Kelvin Morris, giving the Rattlers the possession. They still want to try to get this first down. The give is to Johnny Curtin. No, actually the ball was handed off. How did that wind up in the hands of Booker? It looked like the give was to Johnny Curtin, and then out of the pack came Booker.
I don't know if Booker took this football or not. I think what Johnny Booker did, as here you see Curtin get the football, and then there's Booker right there. He takes the football from Curtin. How about that? That's basically an illegal handoff. You can't hand it off forward. But Booker takes the football and just takes it away from his own fullback. Very dangerous play by Johnny Booker. And I'm sure Kevin Guy will have a heart-to-heart as that football could have ended up on the carpet. And could you imagine if Milwaukee would have recovered that? So I've seen a lot of things in arena football. But your offensive lineman taking it away from your fullback and just trying to get that extra yardage, that would have been a first.
Crazy part is I kind of understand his thinking. It kind of made sense.
We have a legal forward pass by the offense, number 37.
They're calling that a pass.
That foul will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Arizona has a loss of down, which brings up fourth down.
Fourth down, loss of down for Arizona. Still 9 seconds to go.
Okay, so Milwaukee has one timeout left. This Arizona Rattlers team with that penalty has caused a situation where they now, that being the Rattlers, on fourth down and 8, have to get a first down, because if the Milwaukee Irons stop this offense, they get the football. They got one timeout left. They can stop the clock, and they might get one shot left, maybe 2 shots in 9 seconds. If they don't get a touchdown initially, they can try to tie this game up with a field goal. So a bad play by Johnny Booker to take that football away from Curtin on an illegal forward pass.
Well, Fabricio Scaccia has come on for what appears to be a Rattler field goal attempt. It'll come from his own end zone. We told you about Scaccia at the beginning of this game. He had a 68-yard field goal, longest in organized professional football, playing in a semi-pro game in Florida. 68 yards. He certainly has the leg, but what will be key here for the Rattlers is covering this kick if it's missed. And so Arizona now will talk about it. I was joking with Scaccia, too, before the game, saying, even if you were to try a field goal from the back of the end zone, that would be 66 yards. That's the longest you could attempt here in the Arena League.
And here's the other thing, too, now, Tom. They make this field goal, they go from 63 to 57. The Irons get the football back, they get maybe 1 or 2 plays. They can score, get the extra point, win 64 to 63. So
still so many variables, so many scenarios.
And we've got 9 seconds left, and you look at both of these teams, Milwaukee on average is scoring 65 points per game. The Arizona Rattlers are scoring close to 64 points per game, so they're very tight. So even though he makes this field goal, it'll stop the clock and give the opportunity. So I'm wondering if Kevin Guy has told Scaccia to basically just kick it left and allow the clock to run off or run down. Chris Bryson is praying. He is absolutely praying for at least one more shot in the end zone for this Milwaukee Iron team.
So it'll be a 58-yarder from the goal line. They're about 3 yards back. So we're thinking about a 61-yard field goal attempt by Scaccia. Ferris puts it down. The kick is up, and it's on its way, and it's just a little low. Just underneath the crossbar, but it had enough distance.
Well, and this Milwaukee Iron team has one play. Do you go for the field goal to tie it up? So there it is right there. You can see it from the backside. Got plenty of leg just underneath the crossbar.
And it'll be a touchback, so Milwaukee will have it at the 5-yard line. So it actually works out pretty well for Arizona, at least pushing them all the way back to the 5.
All the way to the 5, and hey, I just rushed one guy, and I put the other 7 guys back there. If you get the football, just knock it down. So if Bob Lansing, the head coach of Milwaukee's going to do, they're going for it. He's not going to trust Forsman, his field goal kicker. They're going to take a shot. So combination of maybe throwing it off the screen or off the iron to get a bounce. Here we go.
Ball is live off the nets. All or nothing for Bryson. Fires. Complete. Looking to lateral was Tiger Jones. Still alive as Harrell. He tosses it back to Young. Young is still up. Wide drops. I believe it could be a face mask.
Yes.
Hang on here. We may not be done.
It looks like, unless the face mask came after the clock had expired, but it can't expire. So one play. This is going to be a face mask on the Arizona Rattlers, and Milwaukee's going to get one last shot into the end zone.
Face mask on the defense, number 21.
Oh, man, only in arena football. You just can't predict or project what could happen in this game.
First down.
Kevin Guy is just now Milwaukee can get its field goal team to kick the field goal to tie it up and send this game into overtime.
So on comes Bob Forsstrom. You talk about pressure. No time on the clock. Trying to force an overtime. It'll be a 29-yard attempt. 29-yard attempt for Forsstrom. He kicked the field goal to end the first half. He has 5 this season. And now, hold on. Before the snap, time to ice Forsstrom as Arizona will call a timeout. Oh, my goodness.
Just when you thought it was over, that 2 bad penalties. John Booker taken away from Curtin on the illegal forward pass, and then a face mask on the last play of the game when you had the Milwaukee Iron stopped. There's Riley Swanson, and he knows better. And I will say this, in benefit of Riley Swanson, coming up to make the tackle, his hand came high to bring the lineman down, and his hand just basically got caught up on the face mask. So you can't fault the effort for him trying to bring down the big lineman on that lateral.
Well, you remember how this night started for Forsstrom. Missed an extra point attempt, kicked the ball wide left of the net, giving the Rattlers possession at the 20-yard line. But boy, he could be a savior here with no time on the clock. 29-yard attempt by Forsstrom. It's up, and it is right through the middle. We are going to overtime. Forsstrom knocks it true and through. Deadlocked at 60.
Well, taking advantage of the mistakes is what the Milwaukee Iron have done. This game was virtually won by this Arizona Rattlers team, but you know what? It's never over till it's over. I hate to use the old adage, the old expression, but now we're going into overtime, and basically you're looking into overtime for this team, for both teams. You wonder who has the momentum. You look at the Arizona Rattlers, who did everything that they possibly could on the defensive side, the offensive side, to win this football game. The Milwaukee Iron have lived for another life, and they're going to be taking this into overtime.
Rattlers thought they had the victory in their hands after the interception by Kelvin Morris, the stellar defensive play by Freeman. The penalty with no time remaining led to the 29-yard field goal by Forsstrom, ties us up at 60, and sends us to overtime. Boy, the Rattlers really having to work for their 5th win of the season.
Now, this is basically how it's going to work now. So the overtime periods are going to be 15 minutes during regular season. Each team gets 1 possession to score. If after each team has had 1 possession, one team is ahead, that team wins. If the teams are tied after each had a possession, the next team to score wins. So we give each team the opportunity to score, and then it's that quasi-sudden death, something the National Football League should do during the regular season. at least at this point, they're going to do it for the playoffs. So that's somewhat the overtime rules here in the Arena Football League.
Yeah, I like those rules.
Did you put the pot of coffee on as we come on 10:33 here in the Valley of the Sun?
I'm more worried about trying to catch a little sushi after the game. I got the kids down there. We're all set and fired up for some sushi following this Rattlers game. I think the restaurant is open until midnight. So here's the coin toss. Dan took you through the overtime rules, and
it is ahead.
Arizona winning the toss.
Milwaukee, you'd like to receive. Which end would you like to pick?
Well, it looks like they defer. Trying to work things out. And still some discussion.
You guys want to toss and defer? You would like to
This is great.
Which way would you like to receive?
So it looks like Milwaukee will receive to begin overtime. Each team guaranteed of a possession. If they are tied, after each team has that possession, then it's sudden death.
Don't you love Chris Bryson saying, no, wait a second. I want to go this way. I want to go west. He's had a lot of opportunities, better opportunities going west than going east here in the Snake Pit.
Wild one. Downtown Phoenix, OT next.
As a quarterback, I learned to make the right decisions on the field. The decision to make Scottsdale Healthcare the official hospital for the Arizona Rattlers was personal. I had shoulder surgery at Shea Medical Center several years ago. With the leading physicians, the latest technology, and a compassionate staff, I know you'll receive world-class patient care from the all-pro team at Scottsdale Healthcare, including ASMC, the official team physicians for the Rattlers. To learn more, call or go online at shc.org.
Game Truck, the ultimate video game party brought right to your doorstep. All we need is a place to park, and you'll have a place to play. Now, you have a chance to win your very own Game Truck party. Watch Andy Griffith weekdays at 5:30 on AZTV. Write down the daily code word. Then go to aztv.com and enter to win the ultimate video game party from Game Truck.
Hey, we've all got immigration questions, but who has an answer? How about the county attorney, Rick Romley? He's got a whole new plan. And if you want a whole new smile, that'll look more like me, well, you don't have to. Actually, you can just watch the McMahon Group.
Isn't it crazy what some people will do for answers? But Maury has an easier way.
There are not going to be any more questions, because I got the results right here.
You've got questions, Maury's got answers.
We have seen just about everything in the unpredictable life of arena football and arena football players. This is when the Rattlers thought they had this game won. A penalty on John Booker for trying to pull the ball away from his teammate, a loss of downs. Rattlers then with a face mask penalty with no time left, allowing Milwaukee the opportunity for the field goal to tie things up. Carlton Brown breaks free. Carlton Brown on the first possession in overtime takes it to the 21-yard line as the flag drops.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to give up is a big return. Carlton Brown gets us off the nets and does a great job of just getting up the middle, staying behind Nate Force on that block as he's coming down the field.
On Milwaukee, number 10.
Nate Force is flagged for the holding call.
Now, Nate Force looked like he had part of the jersey as he was escorting Brown down the field. And very, very interesting that the Arizona Rattlers have deferred. They win the coin toss, as far as we understand, and deferred, decided to kick it off. But you know what? Not such a bad decision because their defense has done very, very well. If it's not for just a couple of bad penalties, you start to see this defensive line get a good pass rush and force the issue with Chris Bryson. Now you have to remain aggressive on the defensive side. Get that pass rush like Chris Bryson so he tries to err to the outside and throw the football high.
Coming in for the Rattlers, George Kelly, Freeman, along with Riley Swanson. Kelvin Morris, the linebacker, over the middle. The pass is tipped away by Freeman. Milwaukee asking for a penalty, an interference call. but no flag on Freeman. He has been stellar tonight in coverage.
And this is all great with that pressure up front. We're starting to see that pressure up front with Guerrero and Taj Hawthorne. But Freeman, another great play, keeps his hand off the back. That's great defense right there, folks. If your kids are defensive backs, you keep that left arm off of Damien Harrell, gets that hand in there and blocks it away. But again, it saw the blocked vision of one Chris Bryson that could not step into the throw because of the pressure in his face.
Bryson, 7 touchdown passes, but 3 interceptions and mauling the centers on Taj Hawthorne.
And that's where the experience of a quarterback comes in. He went with the hard count. You saw the hard count from the Arizona Rattlers as we get an offsides. He goes 2. There it is. He goes, hut, hut. And that's what you wanted. That's an easy 5 yards. You've got to watch the football. He's the nose tackle. Those are those mental errors that we talked about, Tom, that you've got to be disciplined. You've got to be a winner up front in those battles.
Right. Milwaukee has had a host of mental errors. Most of those, though, coming in the first half when they were penalized 10 different times. 14 penalties in all for Milwaukee, 5 against Arizona. 2nd and 5. Bryson, quick fire. Harrell, he's been a busy man in the second half, and now into overtime. Shoved out of bounds after the first down catch.
Now, this is a very, very well-designed play here as Freeman comes up. You get the football to the outside of Damien Harrell. Watch Nate Force. He's the outside receiver. He'll come to the inside. It's a quick screen outside. Here comes Nate Force to take Freeman just to block him out of the play. Well-designed play. Sometimes they call that a little bit of a pick play, but the football got to Damien Harrell before Force got into the secondary, got into Freeman to block him.
Bryson on first down, another quick strike, but this one falls incomplete.
Nice souvenir for the fan down there. Tiger Jones over there, this ball thrown to the backside. Talk about the quick passing. Well, this is just more or less a hot route this time as Tiger Jones comes off and he just goes up the field. He sees the cornerback on that side over there. His basically just sitting back. That thing, George Kelly gives it to him right now, but the ball is just a little bit behind him. Should have still pulled that football down.
Harrell, wide right. Nate Force in motion. Jumping off sides with Johnny Curtin. The catch is made by Harrell. He's wrapped up by Riley Swanson.
Now, Johnny Curtin, again, tried to jump the snap count with the motion guy. You can't do that. That's 2 offsides on this drive. To me, that's a lot of mental fatigue by this defensive line. Yes, they played a long time. This time, Chris Bryson holds his count, goes on 2, and gets Curtin to go ahead and jump off sides. Again, you cannot watch the motion guys. Kareem Smith could attest with his 4 offside penalties for Milwaukee. You've got to sit tight. You've got to watch the football. And Johnny Curtin knows better. Johnny Curtin knows better than that.
Iron coming in as the 2nd best scoring team in the Arena Football League. Number 1 in total offense, number 2 in passing yards, led by Bryson. Bryson, quick drop, his pass into the end zone, looking for Harrell. Broken up again by Brandon Freeman. He has been a stud here in the second half.
Again, Brandon Freeman doing a very, very good job of just staying with the receiver. Brandon Freeman, a lot better second half. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. Damien Harrell, he sees it. He does a good job not trying to pick it off. Just go ahead and break it up. Don't try to be a hero because Damien Harrell goes up and catches that football at its highest point. It's game, set, match. In overtime, though, the Rattlers would get another chance at the possession.
This is just a tremendous athlete. Brandon Freeman actually played in the NBDL, the NBA's D-League. Bryson, flags dropped, is being pursued by Guerrero, and flags all over the turf. Well, and the call will go against Arizona for jumping off sides, and that's the 3rd on this first possession for Milwaukee in overtime.
This is all on Chris Bryson. He's recognized this the entire game, and what a great time to pull out the hard count, the snap count, to drive these guys off sides. That's 3 offsides on this drive on 3 different individuals. He knows, and his coaches have said, look, go on 2, go on 3. So he'll come up, split right, 63X post corner. He'll come up and say 4-3 set, 385, 385. And he'll get that, and he'll draw him outside. You got to watch the football if you're a down defensive lineman.
Sounds like you've done that once or twice. Bryson fires it for Harrell, incomplete.
It'll be second down. And as we get into the 11 o'clock hour, you're starting to see a little fatigue. Guys aren't coming out of their breaks. Damien Harrell, accuracy's not quite there. Offensive line are getting pushed. Guys are jumping offside. This is where that conditioning really comes into play. And that's one of the things that Kevin Guy really focused on the week off before they coming back and winning the last two victories.
Well, you can see how tired these players are. Hands on the hips for Antaj Hawthorne. A number of these linemen for both teams. In motion, Tiger Jones. He's the target. The pass broken up by George Kelly in the end zone. Terrific defensive coverage by Arizona.
George Kelly,
Freeman, and now Kelly.
George Kelly saved the Trey Polamalu of the Pittsburgh Steelers with the hair. Coming right at your living room, right here. Here's Kelly, goes right up, gets his hand in there at the very last second, and just hammers Tiger Jones into the dasher board. Bryson looking for a little love. Hey, it's overtime, Chris. You're not going to get that on the opposing field. Don't be begging all of a sudden, Chris.
Well, he knew going into this game that the Rattlers would be mixing it up. Little zone, little man-to-man, a lot of man-to-man in the fourth quarter and into overtime as we'll get a timeout here with 9:29 to go in the extra period. All deadlocked at 60. Rattlers trying to move to 2 games over 500 and stay within 1 game of Spokane in the West.
Some educated fans here in the Snake Pit. Rattle Harrell, he's been around the league many, many years, and you know, you talk about the stop. We talked about this team getting 2 stops. Well, they've had 4 stops in regulation. Can they get 1 more stop, or at least would they force a field goal by this Milwaukee Iron team? Would be very, very interested. These young kids, hey, it's Saturday night. We get to sleep in tomorrow morning. They're up and at 'em. I think that one young man who was napped a little bit earlier, he might have got a second win. Hey, I got my second win. It's bedtime for me in about, 45 minutes, so
You're not having sushi with us, huh?
no, I'm not.
That's the fact, all right.
I think we might go do that Price Park Road kind of thing that hosts the Rattlers and all the above.
Yeah, that's because it's free for you.
Hey,
you're home there.
it's free. It's for me, and I'll take 3 if you don't mind.
So Bryson, again, he'll be headed back to the UFL with Florida after this season. And he says he prays every game that he doesn't get hurt playing here in the Arena League because he really makes the good money in the UFL. But he loves this game of arena football, and he would love to put one into the end zone. Pump fake, and his pass to Forrest makes the catch in the end zone. Another fantastic grab tonight from Nate Force.
And Johnny Curtin is just all over Chris Bryson. Talk about a great throw as he's falling down, and Force coming across the back side of the end zone. Nothing more than just a nice dig route coming from the right to the left, and Chris Bryson dropping back. You see the push, you see the pressure. He does a good job of stepping up and falling back and putting this football out in front of Riley Swats where only he could get that football. Again, clutches, gets pressure up the middle from Hawthorne, and just a great throw by Chris Bryson.
And that's why Bryson is the most accurate passer in AFL history. Forstra, who sent us to overtime with the field goal, now giving Milwaukee a 7-point lead. So, Dan, now the Rattlers have to respond and at least match Milwaukee with 7 points. Possibly they score 6 and go for 2. You just never know tonight.
And that's one of those situations that Danny Whiter, his offense is gassed. Very much shades of Boise State, the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. They go into overtime, and the defense for Boise State was absolutely gassed. Great call by Coach Peterson to put that little trickeration, if you will, to end that game. Trickeration, if you will. I know, we educate you here with these Rattler broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen. So that will be interesting because you just have to settle down. It's probably been, a good 10 minutes since the offense of the Arizona Rattlers have been on the field. So what they'll do is, I would imagine Nick Davila would come out with a short passing game, just matriculate the football down the field to get them into position to get the touchdown.
That's an actual word, so I can live with that one.
Hank Stram, 1969 Super Bowl. Hey, wait! Just keep matriculating that team down the field.
I'm not so sure about the trickeration. So Bryson now has thrown 8 touchdown passes. We told you too, Bryson had his first pro start here with Georgia Force. He threw 9 touchdowns against the Arizona Rattlers, has 8 of the 3 interceptions. Nate Force has been the force as a receiver with his 11 catches and 4 scores.
Talk about kicking your poise, that guy right there, Chris Bryson. What a great job of just settling in. Had 3 interceptions, only had 1 interception out of 308 attempts, folks, coming into this game. 55 touchdown passes coming into this game as well, too. So a guy that got second life, this entire Milwaukee Iron team got second life, and he took advantage of it. Let's just hope that the good guys, who basically gave it away with a couple bad penalties, can come down and score and take it into a sudden death situation.
You know, it's interesting, too, in talking to Bryson yesterday, and what a wonderful guy he is. I mean, just very interesting, so much information in his background, his love of the game. But he said, you know, in his attempts to make it in the NFL, the one criticism that he's had from those NFL pundits is that he throws on his back foot. Well, we saw him throw on the back foot, very accurate, of course, for the touchdown. Sanders taken down at the 11-yard line. That's where Davila and the Rattlers offense will begin their first possession of overtime. Again, Milwaukee with these 7 points on the board. Arizona must match, if not exceed them, to win this game or to send it to yet another possession. If they score 7, then it's sudden death and the next team to score. But again, Davila, if he can get it into the end zone, it'll be decision time for Danny White and Kevin Guy. Would they go for the extra point or possibly a 2-point conversion? But first things first, they have to make it into the end zone. Good strike to Rob Windsor, almost broke free and take it down here midfield for an Arizona first down.
Well, Rob Windsor, you know, he's a big guy. 6'3", 210 pounds. He's got that burst. That's why so many of those pro scouts and pro pundits you talk about like this young man. I think for Rattlers fans this year, you know, here he is a rookie, even though he played in AF2, that he is a guy that could be gone after this year. He's a young man that could be going to the UFL or the National Football League. Danny White believes he'll be going to the National Football League after this year with the Arizona Rattlers.
Still just 25 years of age. Davila is pass caught by J.J. McKelvey. Going back to Rob Windsor, I mean, this is a guy who's had some stunning games. He had 8 touchdowns in a victory against Tulsa. That's 48 points just for Rod Windsor with 8 touchdowns. And he had 36 points at Utah last week with his 6 scores.
Well, you talked about the 85 catches coming in tonight's game. This is the 8th game of the year. This is just finally, before you get to halfway point, he's already had those 85 catches. But what he brings with you is taking care of the football after he catches it.
And add 14 more for Rod Windsor this season. Make it 15. Shoved out of bounds by Ivy at the 10-yard line.
And again, it's a 15-minute running clock, just as if it was a regulation quarter. The last 1 minute of the period will just be like the last 1 minute in the first half and the second half. I like what Danny White's doing. He's giving some very safe throws for Nick Davila, the quarterback. Just get it to your guys. Let's not try to force the issue down the middle or to the outside. Allow everybody to go ahead and just make a play.
Just an exciting and an exhilarating game for the fans watching on TV, the fans here at U.S. Airways Center. Davila ducking one defender, rolls to his right and slips and slides to the 11-yard line as a flag drops. Possibly a holding call, and it is against Arizona.
Well, that's okay. It'll still be first down. Still plenty of time. No reason to panic. Danny White, you can see him. Danny White, probably one of the more inspiring geniuses of the game. I think of Mike Honesy, the head coach that was at Albany, and he was in New England, he was in Chicago, and you see all the great plays. Danny understands where this defense is at for this Milwaukee Iron team. He knows that they're tired. He knows the finer nuances of what these defensive backs have done all night long. So when you look at what his receiving corps does and what they can accomplish, he'll get them into a situation where they understand where they can make the read and make an accurate throw, and a very safe throw, I might add, as well.
Second down for Arizona. I'm sure the officials are trying to check on where to spot the ball.
They might have, I think Milwaukee declined the penalty to make it second down.
And Arizona will still have it from the 11-yard line. Davila taking the play from Danny White. Danny, of course, was part of 2 Arena Bowl titles as head coach of the Rattlers, 5 appearances in the Arena Bowl.
Watch the motion here by McKelvey. Watch it they scored earlier, maybe an inside post route.
Looking for McKelvey initially, and then the pass went to Windsor. It was broken up at the 3-yard line. It'll be third down.
But what happened that time is McKelvey did come in motion and cleared out the middle by running a crossing route. Windsor came up underneath. This throw is low by Nick Davila. That ball has got to be there. Windsor just can't get down there to make the catch. Otherwise, he might go in for the score. That's a huge miss by the Arizona Rattlers.
Boy, all sorts of pressure on Davila. Stepping in here this season, first year as starting quarterback for the Rattlers after starring in Spokane in AF2, a couple trips to their title game and a championship with that Spokane team. Third down, Davila drops back, good protection, whips it, and whips it down for the touchdown to Rob Windsor. What a BB from Davila, who was in trouble after the release.
That might be one of the greatest throws that I think I've seen in many, many years. The timing, the throw, the absolute seed that he threw out there. I call that a frozen rope. He threw that football out there. And here's a situation where he gets it out there. He breaks out from the right, coming right at you. You're sitting in that recliner. Bang, there's a throw out to the outside. Great throw, great catch, great location of the football. Making sure he catches it. And now it is Danny White. Does he go for two down here? Looks like he wants to go for two. And in this game, because he probably feels, he and Kevin Guy talked about this, said, hey, look, the defense is gassed. Let's go ahead and take a chance of finishing this thing up right now.
The Riverboat Gambler, Danny White, looks like he is all in, going for two, and the victory.
I cannot call Danny or Kevin Guy for this at all. I think Kevin Guy said, hey, look, our guys are dying. We're gassed. We want to make sure we go ahead and put in our quarterback's hands. We have the talent. We have the receivers that can make that catch. So Danny calls a timeout. Good timeout. Just wants to make sure everybody's on the same page before they run this play.
A very, very courageous call by Kevin Guy as head coach, his offensive coordinator, Danny White. If you make it, you win. If you don't, you lose. All or nothing coming up for Arizona.
But I think I like this. Okay, it's the 8th game of the year. You're at the halfway point. The biggest litmus test for this Arizona Rattlers team was this Milwaukee team. Would you not say so, Todd Leander? I think that if you get this victory, you talk about a huge step forward for the Arizona Rattlers. Would bode so well for that team chemistry, bringing that team together. And I think everybody would agree. I think the defense, I think Kevin Guy, all the above say, hey, look, let's just go in this bad boy right now. They've been out here almost 3.5 hours. It's time. If Danny's got the play, he's designed it. This should work. Hopefully, Nick Davila gets some pass protection in order to get it off. That's the key right there.
Oh, Dan, I hate to bring this up. The Rattlers coming in with a 4-3 record. 2 of those losses coming on the last play of the game against Tampa and against Spokane this season.
Well, they were robbed against Tampa as Anthony Mix was tackled in the end zone, and another bad call. 2 bad non-calls by the officials. So let's see if they can atone for those 2 bad calls and get 2-point conversion.
Time to win one on the last play of the game. Pitch play on the ground to Rob Windsor. He is in for the win. What a gutsy call. Pitch play to Rob Windsor. 2-point conversion. Down goes Milwaukee.
What a great call. We've seen this so many times with Hunky Cooper for so many years when Danny White was the offensive coordinator and head coach for the Arizona Rattlers. As he comes around, Windsor comes around, gets some great blocks. Great call. They overload this right side. Look at this offensive line come out. There's Johnny Curtin. He comes back inside. Brandon Harvey gets a great block. Guys coming able to come up to make that play is number 11, Carlton Brown. Excellent job. Excellent blocking. Great call. Game, set, match. Arizona Rattlers, Tommy Leander.
Oh, how about that? Kevin Guy, Danny White going all in for this win in overtime, 68-67. Next Friday, the Rattlers host the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs right here at U.S. Airways Center. Call 602-379-2333 or log on to azrattlers.com to order your tickets. My thanks to producer-director Scott Garifo, technical director Steve Feinberg, graphics coordinators ML Freetag, and Michael Brennan, our stage manager, Brianna Burke. On staff, Eric Cohen, production and technical assistants from the Burke Brothers. To Dan Minucci, Randy Gatewood, Katie Hartley, and our entire Arizona Rattlers crew. I'm Tom Leander. Good night from downtown Phoenix. We'll see you in 2 weeks on AZTV and another Rattlers Saturday night till they match the excitement.
Association with Owens Harkey Advertising.
Good job, gentlemen.
there an addiction causing problems in your life? Are you hiding that addiction from others? Are you or someone you love suffering from an addiction? Then it's time to do something about it. Calvary Center knows exactly what people need to get and stay in recovery.
It changed my life.
It's your choice if you want to live or you want to die.
Call Calvary Addiction Recovery Center at 866-76-SOBER or visit us online at calvarycenter.com.
When I start my day off right, I always feel better. So when I decided to cut back on expenses, my gym membership stayed, and the morning lattes, first to go. But even in tough times,
You can't cut back on necessities, like health insurance.
good thing Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona just introduced new health plans that start at under $59 per month. So now I can stay healthy and still watch every penny. To find out more, call your broker, call 877-317-BLUE, or visit azblue.com/rates.
The two-time champion Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang and are hungry to bring their third arena football title back where it belongs. Experience hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-scoring arena football like never before at the U.S. Airways Arena. Good seats start at just $10. That's right, only $10. Bring the family to come meet the players and cheer loud for your Arizona Rattlers. It's snake season, and the Arizona Rattlers are back with a bang. Visit azrattlers.com. That's azrattlers.com to get the ticks for your football fix.
Be a part of the heart and soul of your community at your neighborhood YMCA. Join, donate, or volunteer today.
Yeah, you could say I'm a quitter. I finally quit smoking. It was the smartest thing I've ever done.
I've tried to quit tons of times, but, you know, you have your morning coffee, you have a drink with friends, you're stressed out.
It's hard to quit. There was always a reason to put it off. And then a friend told me about 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
1-800-QUIT-NOW.
They gave me a quit coach to help make a real plan. They helped me pick a date and make a plan that was right for me. They were understanding, supportive.
They were there for me as long as it took. It was really great.
And it was free.
Free.
Not only did it work, it was free. So, if you're ready to quit, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. When you're ready to quit, they can really help. I'm a quitter.
I'm a quitter.
You know what? You can be too.
Men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the USO is home. The USO depends on the generosity of the American people, people just like you. To find out how you can help, visit us at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Anytime, anywhere. Connect with us at aztv.com.
Hello, Ross. I say hello, Ross.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't be. Didn't mean to disturb your reading.
Actually, I'm doing a little research. I have a meeting with the publisher tomorrow. I'm thinking of writing my own children's book.
Really?
Yeah, it's a story my mom made up for me when I was a little kid. I tell it to Alice all the time now. I thought it would be